What's going on, guys? I'm Jeff, the Yoshi Fanatic, and welcome to part 3 of Ori and the Blind Forest. Guys, fall is nearing time, and I don't know why I'm saying that. It has nothing to do with the game. I think I'm just excited about the cooler weather. But I've also been looking forward to getting back to Ori and the Blind Forest, so welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to Heloy, Golden Guy, Drip Nova, and Nick Gamer. Welcome to the stream, you guys. How was your week? I hope it was grand. Alright, so here we are, Ori and the Blind Forest. Last time we took out the, we revived the second element of the forest. And, we are now going to recover the Sunstone from Sorrow Pass. This is the end game. As in, we should be finishing the game tonight, and good timing, because Hollow Knight Silksong comes out next week, and I want to stream that when it comes out, so this may end up being a bit of a longer stream. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I got a phone pouch for school today. A phone pouch? What is that? What is a phone pouch? And you don't seem thrilled about it. So I think we are going to go right for the end game here. Again, with the goal of beating the game tonight. Now, obviously we're not going to be 100% completing it. There's a lot of stuff left to do in the game that I have not had the time to do, nor the wherewithal, I suppose. I've done the DLC stuff, so that was pretty cool. But there's like, in typical Metroidvania fashion, there's a lot of hidden goodies hidden throughout the world, and I've not found all of them yet. There's one nearby, though. We may as well try to go for that. Let's do that quick. Just real quick. Like where they lock our phones for the day. Oof. That sucks. You know, when I was your age, in school, I didn't have a phone. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. In like 10th grade, I got a flip phone from Dollar General for like 15 bucks. Drip Nova says, reminds me, I got a new phone. Yeah, I switched from Motorola to Apple, but that's because my phone had no storage. That's such a funny little parallel, like a reverse of it, or almost exactly a reverse of what happened with my phone situation. Also, congratulations on the new phone. Which one is it? It's the iPhone, well, the current one is the 16, if I remember right. Is that what you went for? Or did you go for something a little less premium or a little older? It's always exciting, though, to get a new phone. So much better than my old one. Holy crap, says Drip Nova. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty recent. 15 or 16, I'd assume. Howdy, Aurora. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to potentially the finale, but at the very least, part 3 of Ori and the Blind Forest. How are you, Aurora? Doink. Ah! Scaries. I want that. Ow. Woof. That... I don't know if that's worth it. Recent enough to be decent, says Drip Nova. Like, that's kind of how I feel about my phone. Decent enough... Recent enough to be decent. Mine's a Google Pixel 7a, so it's like 2.5 generations old, basically. I say 2.5 because the Google Pixel 10 just came out. Or is coming out. In the next, like, week or two, or something like that. I've seen reviews for it, so that tells me it's coming. No duh, Jeff. But, yeah, my Pixel 7... Like, the Pixel 7, or the Pixel A series, rather, is, like, the halfway through the generation refresh kind of thing. So... Jeez. Got home from a pizza fest. A pizza fest? That sounds exciting. How did that go? Today was Pizza Friday for us at work, so I also partook in the pizza. Pizza Fest does sound fun. I would love to partake in a Pizza Fest. Jeepers! What's going on, Robert? Welcome to the stream! But yeah, I'm drawing right now, so I won't be super active. We'll probably post my finished work in the cord. Sounds good, Drip Nova. Golden Guy says, currently trying to enjoy my last weekend because next week boredom and school finally starts for me. Oh boy, exciting time. I don't miss school. Although I do miss having summers off. That's the one perk that I do miss from school. No, instead I have to work. Wow, I was bound and determined to get hit by something there. It was alright. We found a new place we like, says Aurora. So what exactly is this Pizza Fest? Like, what do you do at a Pizza Fest? It sounds like you look around for new places or something like that, or new pizza places, or like... I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to guess. But that is exciting. It's always nice to find a new pizza place you like. Wow. That's kind of unbelievable. How do I keep getting hit by those spikies? That's nuts. Also the fact that I'm at 6 health and they're insta-kills. Just instantly deadified. Oh, what do I even do? The Silk Song is real! Jeff Hollow Knight Silk Song comes out next week. Yes, it does, Robert. And I'm hoping to be there on day 2 to stream it. Oh, do I give up on this thing? There. There. Finally. I don't like this. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Going back to the save point. Wow, that was kind of absurd. Not excited to go back to sleeping very early and waking up at like 6 a.m., says Golden Guy. Oh, I hear ya. I have always been a late to bed, late to rise kind of guy. Hence the 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live streams. Although that's partially out of necessity just because my kids go to bed pretty late. We took them up earlier tonight. We took them up at like 9 o'clock. Which, saying that's earlier says something about our bad habit of getting the kids to bed fairly late these days. Which ain't great. But it is what it is. They're homeschooled, so there's not really... Well, JJ is homeschooled. Shaden's not quite ready for school yet. So... Oh, jeez, man. I suck. Let me just... Maybe I should just focus on actually getting to the next area. Yet here I am trying to destroy my enemies. As though it's even worth it. Alright. Alright, let's continue. Let's go. We're just gonna go straight for it at this point. Well, that was definitely a worthy find. Fun fact, a lot of games have been delayed thanks to Silksong, and I don't blame them. They would be competing to what basically is the GTA 6 of gaming, of indie gaming. Yeah, no, that checks out. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be competing with I wouldn't want to be competing with Silksong either. I mean, it's basically legendary status at this point. I hope it lives up to the hype. I imagine it probably will. Although, it's tough for any game to live up to that kind of hype. Like, we've been waiting for so long at this point that it's like, if it's anything less than amazing, we're all going to be disappointed, I'd imagine. I mean, in fairness, it is a team of 3 people working on it. So it's like, I should probably give them a little slack. But it makes me think of like the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 situation. Where, you know, we waited, or the fans of Kingdom Hearts waited for so long. Well over a decade, I believe. And they were like, oh man, here it comes! And then it wasn't amazing. It was like, yeah, it's aight. And if your fans have been waiting patiently for a game for over a decade, for it to just be aight, you got a problem on your hands. And I imagine that Silksong probably won't succumb to the same fate, partially just because it's an indie game and people would be more willing to cut it some slack, I would think. We'll see. But I'm very excited for it. Robert says, I'm currently playing Hollow Knight to prep myself for Silksong. Hey, me too, friend. I want to complete the Path of Pain in the 5th Pantheon before Silksong releases. That's ambitious. I started a new playthrough as soon as Silksong was announced. Well, I guess that night or like the night after. It was pretty quick. And so far I've put, I think, about 17 hours into the game. So like an average of around, you know, 2 hours a night. It's kind of nuts. But it was a new profile. I just beat, or just destroyed the 3rd Dreamer. So technically I could go beat the game at any time, but I still haven't done like the Hive area. There's more stuff I feel like I still need to do, so I do want to do some of that. You know, I probably should go save. What's up, dude? Says Neil. What's up, Neil? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Blues Cat, Neil, and Yoshi Daffy Duck. Hello! I'm thinking about making games this September, says Blues Cat. Ooh. What kinds of games are you thinking about making, friend? That sounds ambitious and exciting. I'm one of those people that thinks, like, you know, video game development is like magic. As in, I don't know how to do it, and it just all seems like way beyond my pay grade. The reasons of why it took so long to make Silksong is because they had too much fun making it, and they said they could develop the game for 15 years instead of like 6 or 7 it took to make after its reveal. Says Golden Guy. You know, that kind of passion is what I love about indie games. Like, granted, not all indie games are made equal, right? It's not like every single indie game is this giant passion project, and well, you know, I don't know if I can even say that. But regardless, that's something I do love about indie games. Like, they tend to be more passion projects. And, you know, it's nice to see a developer be like, yeah, we could have taken longer on this. But it was time to get it out. And at the same time, they didn't feel pressured, which kind of feels oxymoronish. I don't know. Like, Silksong, it just seemed like a good scene all around. Alright, finished the drawing. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying 2 different things at the same time. Like, those 2 things are absolutely in conflict. So I'll just say that I'm very happy that Silksong is about to come out now. And everybody seems in high spirits, including the developer. It's good to see. You love to see it. And especially with all the junk that is happening in the AAA gaming space. The whole indie game scene is a breath of fresh air, honestly. And got this thingy-mabob. Posted in the cord, like I said, I woof. Alright, let's check it out. Community creations. What the heck is this? What does it even mean to truly love yourself? What is this? I'm afraid I don't understand the context, friend, but that's a very good drawing. Back to the action. I think they are going to continue updating Silksong after it releases like Hollow Knight, says Robert. Yeah, that would be great. Shrinkflation has gone too far. You know, my coworker and I were talking about how bags of chips are just not the same size as they used to be at this point. The classic example of shrinkflation. It feels all too real, man. When it comes to food, it hits different. I shall give you the context. Be prepared. Oh boy. Lore dump time. I have died so many times. Is it that I suck at this game, or what is it? I truly don't know. Those of you who have played this game before, would you consider this a hard game, or is it that I just stink? Or is it a combination of both? I feel like that could be relevant. Or, accurate, I suppose, is the better word for it. Didn't I break that? In my country, 50 to 60% I think of a bag of chips as just air. Maybe because you put it on hard mode, says Golden Guy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did put it on hard mode. I did want a challenge. And by George, I sure got it. By George, I think he's got it. Yoshi. Huh? But Yoshi bought the big chips. Why it gone so fast? Yeah, I swear, like, if you're buying anything aside from, like, a party-sized bag of chips, you're definitely not getting your money's worth. I mean, we always do just because, like, it is one of my kids' snacks of choice. And Sky. Sky's been enjoying eating chips lately. I don't really eat them much. I did have some with my dinner one of these last few nights. We had some leftover Sloppy Joe, and we did not have any vegetables or anything, so we're just like, well, chips it is. We have some chips we should probably try to eat up. But that was the first time in quite a while that I've had chips. I just don't eat them much. Not that I don't like them, but I guess I got to be more conscious about just how bad they are for you. There's a lot of foods that I've stopped eating for, you know, healthy reasons. As in, like, I want to try to be healthier. Like, I started eating yogurt for breakfast. I don't eat Debbie cakes anymore. That sort of thing. I don't eat chips. I rarely snack. It's like all the little things in life that bring me joy I have eschewed in the pursuit of health. Okay, so the image depicts two versions of our good pal Avalon Centrifuge. One being a romanticized version of himself, the super tall human with long hair, and his normal self. Within the context of the drawing, Avalon basically created his romanticized version as a new body for him to inhabit. Don't ask. Sometimes I make crazy stories in my head, which causes an old body to become a lifeless husk. Japers. That's deep. For some reason, I feel like Little Big Planet doesn't go that hard on the lore. Robert says, I don't think Ori is hard, but it is challenging in some areas. But I played it in normal mode, says Robert. Yeah, that's fair. I wonder how much easier it would be on normal mode. I don't really want to switch. I hate switching difficulty halfway through a game, but you know. Would you eat Yoshi chips from Mario Wonder? Mario World, not Wonder, my bad. Yoshi chips? You mean the coins? Because those aren't chips, those are coins, they're currency. Where am I supposed to be taking this? Do I keep going that way? Can I keep going that way? Also, Robert, thank you for the feedback. I know I did ask for it. Mario Kart World. Oh. I don't know. I haven't played Mario Kart World, so I don't know what the chips would be like. Where are all these rocks coming from? Ow. Dear, my goodness. Well, hey, I found the map stone. Neat! Oh. But I can't save. Well, that ain't good. Boink. All of this and because he's coming to grips with who he truly is, flaws and all. It does not, lol. All of this in my goofy mind. Jeff, would you eat the Yoshi coins? You know, if they were like the coins, like the gold coins that are just like gold wrapping on like a piece of chocolate, then yes. Hey, that was a very well-timed level up. Alright, where am I supposed to be taking this? Wasn't there a map stone somewhere nearby? Oops. Coin is yum yum yummy coinies. Yeah, I always got a kick out of those as a kid. I thought they were a lot of fun. Okay, where exactly am I supposed to be going? Jeepers! Everything like takes out half of my health bar and it's nuts. And I feel like I'm just going in circles at this point. Did not mean to throw that. Alright, so where can I go? That looks like a lung. Oh, cool. Now I remember where the map stone is. And just take me home. Jeff, do you like Hollow Knight or Ori better? I think Hollow Knight. I really like Ori and the Blind Forest, but Hollow Knight is just... oh, it's so good. But Ori is very good. Like, it's a very heartfelt sort of story and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful game. And the mechanics are fun enough. I think they are a lot of fun, honestly. I like Will of the Wisps better, but... yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is one of those, like, you know, 8 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10 kind of games for me. Hollow Knight's a 10 out of 10. It really is. Hollow Knight is so good. Golden Guy says, is it me? But games on older systems felt infinitely replayable. Like, I had like 5 or 6 3DS games and they felt like I could replay them forever. But now I can get a new game, maybe finish it casually on a weekend or more, and I never touch it again. Maybe because we were younger or games were actually infinitely replayable back then, says Golden Guy. I think there's a lot of factors to that, honestly. It very much does come down to a game-by-game basis. I'll get back to that in just a minute. There's a fast food employee Yoshi costume, and there's crumbs in Yoshi's cheeks, and it's the light blue Yoshi who wears that costume, if you're wondering. I love that. That's so funny. I do hope that I get the chance to play Mario Kart World at some point. I mean, whenever I buy a Switch 2, which it's not like it's inevitable, but very, very likely. Anyway, what I, oh, wait a minute. what I'm trying to say, sorry. I want to get back to Golden Guy's comment about the replayable games. I think it really comes down to a few things. I think one of the main things about a replayable game is its length. Like, I think about Mario 64 versus Mario Odyssey. Like, I see Mario 64 as being very replayable because, like, there's a lot going on. First of all, there's, like, you've got your initial mastery of the controls, and, well, I guess your first playthrough getting, like, 70 stars to beat the game, yada yada. Then you can get 120 stars. Then, like, you know, the game incentivizes you to go for, like, well, not quite incentivizes you, but at least, like, keeps track of your score and all that. In terms of, like, how many coins you got in an area. That's not super huge, but that's one thing. And then, like, a drive to constantly improve your skills with the game and, like, really get to the point where you're just amazing at it. Just constantly refining your skills. And then one of the other elements is the fact that it's like, if you're not very good at Mario 64, you could probably still beat it in a good, like, I don't know, 10 hours, maybe. If you're really good at it, you can beat it in like 2 or 3, 100%. But that's one of the things, like, it's shorter. And then I compare that to, like, Mario Odyssey, where it's got a lot of the same stuff going for it, but it's so long. I mean, you can beat the game pretty comfortably in a matter of you know, like maybe 10 hours sort of thing. Like, you could beat it pretty comfortably in that amount of time, but there's just so much content in the game. I feel like that is probably one of the main factors for me in a game being replayable, is how long it is and how much fun I can have, like, just messing around with the mechanics and, like, improving myself with them. I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors that go in with replayability. Another one of them is, like, you know, your age when you're playing the game. Like, the number of times I replayed Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, even though it's like a 12 or 15 hour game, you know. The number of times I replayed that game is nuts. Whereas with Mario and Luigi Brothership, or even Dream Team or something like that, yeah, it's a longer game. But I feel like since I played them, like, I played those games later in life, there's not much of a chance that I'll, like, go back and replay it a bunch. That, and I just have so many games in my backlog that if I try to justify, just replaying the same game over and over again, it's like, but I've got like 20 games in my backlog that I should play first. True story, by the way. I went back and I looked at how many games I still have in my backlog. It's like 20 or 21. And I did the math. It's like $300 worth of video games. And not all at MSRP. That's just what I paid for them. I, like, got them on sale or whatever. Yeah, it's yeah. I guess the whole takeaway is there are a lot of factors that can go into a game's replayability, for sure. Robert asks, have you completed the Path of Pain or the 5th Pantheon? No. The only DLC that I did was, that one boss that shows up in Dirtmouth, and then when you beat him, you get, like, a companion that joins you. Other than that, no, I haven't done any of the other DLC. I might, though, at some point. Drip Nova says, I'm 18 and I still find enjoyment from playing Little Big Planet 2, even after the servers got shut down. The main story is filled with excellent levels, and the create mode is just a blast to mess around in. So sorry for not shutting up about Little Big Planet 2, by the way. I'm crazy about that game. If you're really good at Super Mario 64, you can beat it without collecting a single star. Very true. And the mission structure makes Mario 64 more replayable than Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, Mario Odyssey is definitely more open-ended. Mario 64 is kind of like a pick it up and play it for a few minutes and you're good sort of thing. Jeff, I don't think I ever got your opinions on Super Mario Sunshine. Like, that I never told you them, or that they just don't make sense to you. I still remember playing a lot of random levels in in Yoshi Woolly World and had like 200-ish hours of playtime according to the activity log on the 3DS. I don't think even I have that much time in Woolly World. That's nuts. I think you're talking about the Grim Troop. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. The Grim Troop. Yeah, that's the only DLC I did in Hollow Knight. Do you remember when that came out? I feel like that probably has something to do with why I didn't play it much. Because depending on when it came out, like, I might have been, you know, in the throes of, well, let me put it this way. I think they came out like 2018 or 2019 or something like that. It was my second game after all, says Golden Guy. That would definitely explain it. I keep hitting the L button expecting to pull up the map. Anyway, because I've been playing Hollow Knight so much. Anyway, I was surprised I had 500 hours on Mario Maker 3DS, my first game. That was your first game? Wow. Whoa. Whoa, that seems silly. Seems like I need that for something. Yay, I got an energy cell. That's exciting. But yeah, I feel like I remember Hollow Knight, the DLC for that, coming out in like 2018. And 2018, for those of you who don't know, or it's been a while since I've last stated this fact about myself, this fun fact. 2018, I think, was the busiest year in my entire life. Because I got a new job, I got a new car. Actually, the order is I got a new car, I got engaged, I got a new job, I bought a house, and I got married. All within that same year. 2018 was an absurdly busy year for me. Just looked it up, and it was released October 26th, 2017. You know what else came out on October 2017? Like a day later? Mario Odyssey. Or a day earlier? No, it was a day later. October 27th, 2017. So to say that I had other games to play is a bit of an understatement. Aurora says, ultimately, I think what makes a game replayable is if you're really having fun doing rather than just wanting to experience everything there is or looking forward to reaching the end. That is an excellent point. A good way to phrase that, too. My goodness. Very insightful. If you're having fun doing rather than just wanting to get to the end, that's what makes a game replayable. That's an excellent way to put that, Aurora. Well said. Okay. Okay, I was gonna say, there's no way that they're asking me to, like... Oh, this is an unsafe zone. Oh, Noah. Okay, did that do anything for me, or did I just screw up? No, it does do something for me. Just maybe not at this moment in time. That's unfortunate. I definitely screwed this up. Oh, wow, okay. I managed to make it work after all. Okay. I got this, I got this. Oh, sweet. Why is YouTube recommending me so much gender content, says Drip Nova. Oh boy. Good question. I would not have the answer for you. Not a clue, friend. Not a clue. Hey, Jeff, how Mitch is done for the Nexi video? You know, I gotta say, Golden Guy, I have no updates at this current moment in time. I've been having way too much fun playing video games in my off time. Kind of cut myself some slack. I feel like once I'm done with Hollow Knight, which should be this next week, if not this weekend, then I'll be... Oh... Then I'll be getting back to work on it. Let's just say, again, I've been having a lot of fun playing video games in my off time. It started with Cuphead and then moved on to Hollow Knight once Silksong was announced. So, yeah, I've made zero progress on it in the last few weeks, to be honest. Does not feel good to say that. I was thinking about making a platformer game starring me that would become a series of silly games, says Bluescat. That sounds like fun. Sounds like a fun little version of, the angry video game nerd making a few silly games of himself. That's cool. That's a cool idea. Oh, nice Clippy profile picture. We stand Clippy. We stand Clippy. He's just a little guy who wants to help. Oh, I remember Clippy. I remember him being annoying. Isn't the whole thing about the Clippy profile picture thing like, you know, reminiscing about when times were simpler in the big tech companies didn't feel quite so much like they were just out to get you and that sort of thing? I feel like that's what that's all about, but maybe someone could explain that more in depth to me. All I remember seeing is like a YouTube short explaining it. How long did it take you to beat the final boss in Hollow Knight? You know, I remember it taking a while, especially the Radiance. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't played Hollow Knight yet, I guess. Oh! There we go. It definitely took me a while, but that was also a long time ago. So, yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, in terms of like exact how long it took me. I guess when I go to beat the Radiance later this week or this weekend, I guess I'll let you know then. I decided to use the look from Office 97 because it looks more cute than the 3D one. It says Golden Guy. There you go. You know, Clippy always told me that my name was spelled wrong. So I think I just got annoyed at Clippy. Yeah, he just wants to help. I know how to spell my name, Clippy. Meanwhile, fast forward to where we are now with autocorrect and you know, autocomplete. Now the word processors don't only check your spelling, they're checking your grammar. How many periods do you have? Did you use the Oxford comma? That's not quite a concise enough way to say that. Like, I usually say all of the time, not all the time. In like, I mean, I guess I type out all of the time, or all of the things, instead of just all the things. And, like, my word processors are always telling me, you know, fix this, this is not concise enough. I'm like, guys, this is my writing style. Leave me alone, I don't care if it's not concise enough. If I want to say I want to look into this rather than I want to investigate this, then that's what I want to say, leave me alone. At least Clippy wasn't that, you know, hand-holdy as far as, like, grammar is concerned. And they're training their AI in addition to correcting you. Oh, yeah. Yep. That whole malicious, always ever-present threat of AI. Just another thing to... And just another reason to have Clippy as your profile picture. A Mario and Luigi spin-off. Wario and Waluigi. The bro moves would be them abusing each other. Not gonna lie, I think that would do really well. At least in the gaming community. Maybe not so much the mainstream. But, definitely we gamers would get a good chuckle and gaff out of it. That looks silly, but it is like the most effective way to, you know, keep a consistent height here. Whee! It looks so dumb. Ah! Oh, this part's hard. Also, modern day grammar checking is so bad. It mistook my typo of R, which was ate, as an incorrect tense of the verb eat. Although I will admit, one thing that's nice is like if you use the wrong like there, or there, or to. If you use the wrong one of those, like your word processor is probably going to catch it. Not that I would know. I use correct grammar most of the time. And especially, like, I never get confused about which there is there. Or which to use. I don't get confused about that stuff. I'm fairly good at grammar. But it's like... it's trying to correct my use of concise language. Like, instead of using to look into, use the word investigate. I'm like, I don't want to. That sounds stupid. I'm not a detective. Like, oh, Jeff, can you look into these electrical panels at the school that we need to replace? Yes, I can look into that. No, Jeff, you say, yes, I can investigate this. No, I don't really use the word investigate unless we're talking about, like, detective work or journalism. I digress. Man, this part's touchy. And I can't even imagine playing this on the one life mode. Ooh! The wind stopped. It makes sense. The reason I even created this account is because Golden Guy, or Goldie Phone as I also call it, is so I don't get random notifications or get signed into random stuff on personal accounts. Hey, there you go. That's a good idea. Not what I wrote, but to give an example, we are friends, but I accidentally typed we ate friends, but the grammar checker thinks I was trying to say we eat friends. Fish are friends, not food. Shoot! I am very bad at this part, it turns out. It's so touchy. Okay, I can save there. I think that's part of my problem, is I just always forget to save. It's like, we're in the year 2025. This came out in like 2015. At that point, I was just like, you know, we don't do manual saves anymore. And I get that this one is like, there's kind of an express purpose for it. But, I don't know. I'm still like struggling to remember to save. What do we got here? What's this? Another sacrifice for Nibelle. Nier flew through the air. She soared through the sky. Her world knew no bounds until the forest turned blind. I don't understand. What is it going to do for me? Avalon Centrifuge. Avalon Centrifuge, I know. One of the bros would be Waluigi pushing Wario's stomach to get him to fart like in Smash Bros. That would be something. And then another one is like Wario just uses Waluigi like a bat, like a baseball bat. Oh, this is such a cool ability. I didn't fully appreciate it until I unlocked it. That is such a cool ability. You know, I will say, like, I think it was Robert who asked earlier if I prefer, Hollow Knight or Ori and the Blind Forest, and I said Ori and the Blind, or I said Hollow Knight. But I will say, like, the movement options in Ori and the Blind Forest are crazy, and I love them. Like, the movement in this game is like, well, I mean, it's like 80% of the gameplay at least. So, it ought to be good, but this is, like, really good. Whee! Just the amount of movement options that you have kind of almost makes up for the lack of options that you have in terms of, like, combat. Yeah. Give me this. You know what? Let's check to see what else I can upgrade here. Ultra Stomp, Rapid Flame, Charge Flame Blast, and Ultra Split Flame. I think I can do without those, to be honest. Energy pickups reward 50% more energy. Ability markers. Ability cells. Okay, that's pretty cool. That requires 3 ability points. I feel like I would get the most use out of this branch. So I'm gonna pursue that. Imagine you forgot to save in the final boss and the last time you saved was at the very beginning of the game. Oh, that would suck. Although there's actual dedicated save points, and you're more than likely going to find those as you trek through the game. So yeah, probably not going to happen in that crazy of a fashion. Avalon, I just checked the art chat in the Cord and wow. That certainly is an art piece, okay? Oh, jeepers. How goes it, Avalon? Did you accompany Plush to the place of college education? Doink. Whew. Oh, sweet. I didn't know if that would actually work. Oh, man. I really got to get used to using this in conjunction with the wall grab, the Kuro's feather, and all that. There's just a lot to remember. Like, I was saying that I really like the movement options, and I do. But, boy, there's a lot. I just rammed my face into that. That was great. Avalon, why would I be involved in an 18-year-old girl's college education? I don't know, Avalon. I just assumed that you hang out with her. My goodness, dude. Maybe that was a bad assumption. Ow. 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 Holy. I'm almost thinking that hard mode was a mistake. It was a mistake for me to play on hard mode. It's not like I can't get through it, but man, I'm struggling. Straight up struggling. Jeez! I feel like those spikes were an insta-kill even in normal mode, though. How many times have I died? 295. My goodness. That's just nuts. That is nutty. Avalon, we hang out on occasion. She ships her self-insert Saxono with me, so that's something that is happening, says Avalon. Okay, fair. I see. I see. I learned something today. Okay, can I please get there? Game saves. Okay, that was worth it. Get out of here. It's like, alright, fine. Don't appreciate me. Woo. Honestly, this is taking a lot of my focus. Ow. I haven't quite got the hang of... Oops. I haven't quite got the hang of, using all these moves in tandem yet. That's a lot. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting up there. I thought I would try it out, but it was not meant to be. Oh! Shoo! Again, I keep thinking that I'm going to open up the map if I do that. That's not a thing. Where do I need to go? I mean, obviously I need to go there. I guess I could go down and get the other stuff I've missed, though. I gotta go. Good night, everyone, and have a good week, says Robert. You too, man. I'm glad you tuned in. And I hope you're, I hope you enjoy Hollow Knight Silk Song. I assume you're gonna get that next week. And I'll be playing it right alongside you, friend. Have a good week, Robert. Might head out, Avalon. Already? Have you no attention span, maiden? I imagine that college is taking a lot out of you, Drip Nova. But, yeah, how is that going so far? If you don't mind my asking before you go. Terrible game idea number 1. Mario invests in meme coins and goes broke. The idea is that Mario P invests all of his money, life savings, into, including his family life savings, into Bitcoin and becomes broke. And has to get out of debt. Oh boy, that feels... That hits a little close to home. I mean, I just paid off all my debts other than my mortgage, so... I guess I'm in a good spot. Not like Mario with his Bitcoin. Good night! Oh, goods. I'm glad to hear it's going good, Strip Nova. Have a good week, friend. I hope you get Labor Day off, and if you do, enjoy it. I also get it off, so I get Labor Day off. So, I'm looking forward to that. I love getting Monday off. It's like, oh no, today's Sunday, and I have to go to work tomorrow. Wait a minute, no I don't. Yes. Love that feeling. The Sunday scaries then become the Sunday not so scaries. Wario was originally going to be the main villain in Donkey Kong Country until he got replaced by King K. Rool. I feel like you're yanking my chain on that one, Yoshi Daffy Duck. That doesn't sound right at all. I don't know why I did that. Excuse me. Why am I like always cursed to just be tired for these Ori and the Blind Forest streams? What gives? I promise I like the game. I do. I don't know what's up. Okay. Alright, yeah. It makes sense to go back down there. Woo! Eep! Take that. Ow! Dude does 4 hit points of damage. That's insane. Oh, I gotta stop hitting the L button. That's not how I check the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. It's not the L button. That's Hollow Knight. Okay, so what is my best bet here? Oh, right. I gotta hang on to the wall. It's just too far. Or am I just being dummies? I might be being dummies. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. I got this. I got this. The original name for Donkey Kong Country was Donkey Kong vs. Super Wario. I feel like again, you're yanking my chain, man. Pretty sure that's not true. Man, Donkey Kong Country was such a classic. Terrible game idea number 2. Mario buys Italian brain rots. The idea is simple. Mario buys Nintendo-themed Italian brain rots and you can sell them as NFTs. Am I the only one that doesn't understand what the heck an NFT is, by the way? Like, what the heck is an NFT? What is this good that you are buying? Like, seriously, what is an NFT? I know I heard of them a lot, but I feel like I was always just like, everybody knows what NFTs are. If I ask, I'm gonna look like an idiot. But now I'm gonna, at the risk of looking like an idiot now, I'm gonna ask, what the heck is an NFT? Like, I feel like the way that people explained it was that it was basically just like a PNG that you bought and whatever. I still don't get that. Like, what is the deal with that? Can someone describe to me that whole process? Because it's not computing for me. Howies. An NFT, non-fungible token, is a unique digital asset stored on a blockchain that cannot be replicated. NFTs can represent various forms of digital or real-world items, such as artwork, music, in-game items, and videos, and they are often bought and sold online as using cryptocurrency. Each NFT serves as a digital record of ownership, providing proof that the asset is unique and owned by an individual. So it's like a digital, like, emblem or something like that. Like, yeah, I've got this thing. Doesn't really do much, but like a digital status symbol almost, right? It's kind of what it sounds like. A digital status symbol. Because, like, what else does it do for you? Like, does it actually do anything, or does it just sit there? I feel like that just sounds dumb. And I feel like that's what everybody was saying. Like, NFTs are dumb. I'm like, I don't really understand them. Hey, can I, like... Okay, well, no. The answer's no. I didn't save, I stink. Is there a way I can blow that up from this side? Or from this side of the fence? I feel like that's a negatory. They were popular in the early 2020s. Most of them lost their value and lost tons of money. Yeah, I mean that checks out. A digital good that that doesn't actually do anything and that you don't actually own anything. Can't imagine why that fad faded out. I don't feel like I can actually break that. Ooh, but maybe I can use one of these. I feel like that was cheating. We're gonna do it again. Even though I feel like this is probably a much more complicated way of... Yeah, this is absolutely like the way I'm supposed to come from, not go through. Yeah, I don't know why I was so hyper-fixated on that for a minute. Hello. Can I, like, get through here, please? Apparently the answer is no. This looks like a mechanism of some kind. So I can't actually do anything with that yet. Doesn't seem like. What am I supposed to do to interface with these? I'm so confused. I've done something terribly wrong. I've already spent an hour just hanging out in this place and lollygagging around. I've really not accomplished much. Well, let's try to go back there and see if we can't. Wait a minute, hang on. Oh, here we go. There's a thing here. And I moved to the thing, and now I can get that thing. Terrible game idea number 3. King DDD gets a job. The game would take place in the Kirby universe. Keep Kirby right back at you, anime universe. And it would be about King DDD getting a job to pay the debt they owe Nightmare Enterprises. That sounds about right. They've racked up quite the tab. Trying to get Kirby all those times. This isn't free, sir. Got an ability cell. Hey. Oh, shoot. I'm dumb. How likely is a Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder with new levels specifically designed with the Yoshis in mind and Poochie as a new playable character? Very, very unlikely. I mean, a Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder, I feel like that's like 5 out of 10 likelihood, I think. Like, it's a Mario game. I can imagine there being a Switch 2 version of that. It's not like a given, it's not like a guarantee, but that sounds reasonable to me. But with the content you just described, I don't think that they would. I don't think that they would make levels focusing on Yoshi. Technically possible, so I'll give it a 1.5 out of 10 likelihood. And Poochie, as playable character, Poochie didn't even get to be in Mario Kart, did he? So I'm gonna say probably not. Speaking of Italian brain rot, I've heard that there are tons of slops on Nintendo Switch 2 eShop. Already? Welcome to the stream, Chris. How are you doing, friend? Oh, I should, Oh, welcome to part 3 of Ori and the Blind Forest. Hopefully the finale. So what was that I just unlocked? Charge dash. Allows Ori to charge dash and to attack enemies. How he's... Blah. Blah. I remember seeing a game called Tung Sahur report on the eShop. Tung Sahur? I don't know what that is. Absolutely not. Describe it to me. And if it sounds like one of your bad game ideas, I won't be shocked. In Mario Kart Tour, but yes, not World, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I feel like I do remember someone telling me that you can play as Poochie in Mario Kart World. Oh wow, Okay, hello. Give me that. Found a life cell. More vitality. Thank you. Italian brain rot. That's it. Oh, so you weren't just like making that up for whatever reason. A game made by AI. Oh, that's already awful. That's centered around that one Italian brain rot character. There's an Italian brain rot character? I thought you guys were just putting together random strings of words. No, apparently not. Huh, well, I learned a thing that I don't know if I wanted to learn today. I don't know how I feel about that. Basically a game to cash on the Italian brain rot trend. There's a trend? I don't know if I like where we're going as a human species. I no longer believe in the human race. Ow. When was the last time I saved? Oh no. Where am I? Oh. Jeez. Off to a real rocky start to the stream here, I'm not gonna lie. I've died so many times in just this area. Ow. Alright, well, I know what to do in this area now. Die, apparently. That was a pretty awesome shot, though. So, oh, Google AI is the worst thing I've ever witnessed, says Blues Cat. I have a feeling it's gonna get worse, Blues Cat. I'm not very optimistic about this whole AI situation. It does some cool things, I'll admit. But I'm not very optimistic about it, and the impact that it's going to have on us as a species. So, Italian brain rot is a meme that centers around an AI-generated image, mainly a combination of things and animals. Go check it out if you're curious. Popular with kids these days. I'm gonna stay away from that one, friend. I'm gonna stay away from that one. No, I'm gonna stay away from that one. Like a shark with Nikes or similar. I have so many questions that I don't necessarily want answered. I'm just going to leave them as questions in my brain. I don't want them answered. There are things that humanity was never meant to understand, and no. And for me, this is one of them. Doink. And doink. Alright, I do want to see if I can actually get past this thing now that I've activated that switch. Nope, that's a different switch. Shark wearing Nikes. Ah, it's so weird, man. You know, of all the things that AI could be used for, sharks wearing sneakers. Or basketball shoes, I guess. Hey. What is this world coming to? I don't have as much faith in humanity as I once did. Okay, I don't know how to open this thing. Well, that's not it. It's gotta be some mechanism. Or a cactus with an elephant face wearing a big slippers. There was a lot of no in that sentence you just spurted. So much no. And I know it's not coming from you, obviously, but why? You haven't hit rock bottom yet. I feel like we're close, Aurora. I feel like we're close. Like, honestly, like, that's just one of those, like, little experience bubbles. I don't know if I really need that right now. I mean, I could always use it, though. I like those things. Kirby Air Riders has the Smash Ultimate art style. It does? I mean, in what way? It kind of looks just like a Kirby art style. If I'm honest, like, I don't really see the whole Smash Bros. Thing. Okay, I got that. I really don't know how I'm supposed to get that thing. Well, again, it's just a little experience orb. It's not even like a huge one. I'm just gonna skip that thing. There. I keep hitting that button thinking it's gonna bring up the map. It's simply not. Anywho. Just right on up through here. Okay, well, maybe don't take it quite that lackadaisically. There. Smash. Everything gets better, but the denim. Yeah, honestly, Smash Bros. Brawl is where the denim graphics peaked. Probably never see it get any better than that. It's like, that's when everything was trying to go towards hyper-realistic. I feel like Smash Bros. Brawl tried to make the characters, I don't know about edgy per se, but certainly more realistic. To the point where, like, you know, Bowser and Donkey Kong and all those, like they got their more realistic animal sounds from those games. Everything just looked like they were trying to really hone in on an ultra realism sort of level. I feel like that was the game where they tried to incorporate like damage to like the shields or helmets or like scuffs on the clothing and that kind of stuff. Isn't that when they tried to add that in? And for some reason they scrapped the idea? Like, I feel like there's kind of a remnant in there with some of the characters. Like taking damage. Like when they take damage in Smash Bros. You can kind of see the impact, like Olimar's helmet will crack. That kind of thing. What exactly did that do for me? Yeah, this is Aurora. Okay, yeah, I thought I was remembering that right. I remember as a kid, well, I guess I was more like, I was a teenager when it came out. I was like, I was impressed. But I was also like a big fan of the Wii and everything just seemed impressive at the time. Smash Bros. Has the most detailed character design in any Nintendo games. I mean, look at Mario and Luigi's clothes. I don't know, like the Metroid Prime games. But, You know what? No, I think you're right. Smash Bros, they do put a lot of detail in there. Hey Jeff, in your opinion, what was a game you really wanted to get, but after you played the game you were extremely disappointed? The one I always talk about was Ninja Turtles. It was a Ninja Turtles game. It was a Ninja Turtles game on the PlayStation 4 called, and it was probably on other consoles too. I think it was called Mutants in Manhattan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was called Mutants in Manhattan. Like, I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, and I'm like, this game looks like a lot of fun. The art style's kind of neat, and yeah, it's a new Ninja Turtles game. Let's get it. And I got it, played it for an hour, and I was super bored. So yeah, definitely that one. That and Gravity Rush 2. I don't think that it's the game's fault so much as my fault. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Like, I loved Gravity Rush 1. And then I tried playing Gravity Rush 2 years later, and it just didn't land with me for some reason. Again, it's not the game's fault. I couldn't get into it. Maybe I should try again sometime. Stick with TMNT Shredder's Revenge instead. I want to get that sometime. Especially considering they have Usagi Yojimbo or Miyamoto Usagi. Like my favorite secondary Ninja Turtles character. I love Usagi, so yeah, that's a big thing for me. I'll definitely want to pick that game up at some point. Maybe even the physical one. Might as well get TMNT Cowabunga Collection. Yeah, I mean, most of those are like 5 out of 10 games, right? Or like worse. No wonder Kuro is avoiding this place. The Sunstone still radiates the light that she fears. Whoa. Whoa. I found the Sunstone. Using this legendary rune, you can gain entrance to Mount Horu. Okay. And how, pray tell, do I get there? Ugh. Excuse me. Of course not. It's a collection of the best TMNT games in 8 and 16-bit eras. Oh, okay. Okay, well maybe I ought to try to give that a chance. Let's go! Yeah! So nice of him to help our friend. Their journey inspired even he who had doubt. Aw. What's your least favorite Ninja Turtles media? Give me a second. Gumo had found a place to belong. The forest is coming back to life. Aw. It's good to see our friend come back. I don't remember the name. Naru or something like that. They even threw in some Game Boy games in that collection. Pretty cool. You know, I ought to give it a shot. I've heard like so many bad things about the NES Ninja Turtles games, and like the only one that I consistently hear get really high praise is Turtles in Time, and I already have that on the Super Nintendo. It wouldn't be such a bad thing to add to the collection, though, honestly. What's your least favorite Ninja Turtles media? Honestly, oh, there's some choices. You know, I'm gonna go with the Michael Bay movies. I wanted to say that Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation in its like entire one season that sucked, but at least they added Venus de Milo, which was an interesting character, like the 5th Ninja Turtle, a master of the mystic arts or whatever. That was pretty cool. Like that was like the one redeeming feature of that show. And like I saw that they brought Venus back in like the most modern like IDW comics or something like that, and got real messed up, but, you know, she got her start in the Next Mutation, as far as I understand. So that's why I'm gonna not say the Next Mutation. I'm gonna say the Michael Bay movies. Those sucked so hard. People seem to be okay with number 2, but I feel like that's just because, you know, the movie didn't actively punch you in the nuts. And people were like, alright, we appreciate that it doesn't just punch us in the nuts. That's my thought on the Michael Bay movies. Teenage Mutant Ninja Ogres. Oh, that's my least favorite. TMNT 1 on NES gets a pretty bad rap sometimes due to some nerd guy complained everything about the game for jokes, but it's still a decent game. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Like, I haven't delved into the game myself, so I don't know from first-hand experience. The other NES games are pretty good. They also threw the arcade games in there. You know, that could be fun. It could also be that I got spoiled by basically only playing, like, Turtles in Time. And then the Game Boy Advance games, I feel like, were pretty good. With the Sunstone, we can now pass through Mount Horu's gates. But do you feel the shaking, the rumbling in the earth? Mount Horu is close to spewing fire. There's no time to lose. Alright, well, I actually, I feel like I actually got a lot of the stuff there in Sorrow Path. So I need to make my way back to the Ginso tree. It's probably my closest route. Oh. My goodness. And there's a lot of stuff that I could explore along the way. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to do that right now. I bet that you know what I was... Oh, I'm sorry. I bet that you know what I was referring there with the nerd, yeah. The angry video game nerd. Alright, yeah, let's get to the map stone. I feel like that would probably be my fastest way there. Is there anything over here? Nope. That's a big negative. Oh. Wow, I cannot believe how much damage those things do. Like, I have 9 hit points and they take out 8 of them. Okay, well, I don't really need to go to that save point. Maybe I was mistaken. Okay. So again, my best bet is to get to the map stone. I think that's the easiest, fastest way to the Ginso tree. Because you can actually transport to other map stones. And I very rarely actually do that, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. It seems like this seems like a good time to do that. Oh my. Oh no! Oh no! I tried, man. Maybe I tried for something I shouldn't have. Doink. In your opinion, what's the worst part of playing video games on a keyboard? What's the worst part? You know, I don't really have that much negative to say about keyboard games or games that use the mouse and keyboard. You know, actually, now that I think of it, I think the worst part of games on mouse and keyboard is just how many different buttons that there are, that it's like, okay, I gotta figure out like what controls or what buttons control what, you know? Like especially if you're coming back to a game that doesn't have like a great way of oh, it's the save point that you transport to. Oh my goodness. Anyway, man, I am not doing a very good job explaining this. Let me try that again. So, on a controller, there are many fewer buttons on a video game controller than there are on a mouse and keyboard. I mean, you've got the 26 letters by themselves, and those are like your primary buttons, of course, but 26 is a lot more than like 10. So if you don't remember the controls to a game that you're like just getting back into, or like you decided to switch from using mouse or from video game controller to mouse and keyboard, it's a lot harder to make the adjustment. Again, there's just so many buttons, and obviously there's some that are like, you know, they're pretty consistently this button or that button or the other. Like those sorts of actions, like WASD is basically always your movement. But you know, there's a ton of other buttons on the keyboard that could do multiple things. Like, I remember I was playing Genshin Impact with my friends back when that was the new hotness. And, like, I was like, how do I do this thing? And, like, I was playing on my controller, and they were playing on mouse and keyboard. They're like, oh, just hit the E key, Jeff. And I'm like, I'm playing on an Xbox controller. And like, oh, well, I have no idea then. And that's kind of unrelated, but, you know, you get the idea. Like, if I was playing on a mouse and keyboard, they would have been able to tell me, but holy cow, there's just so many different buttons. I think that's my biggest thing with mouse and keyboard, is just so many buttons. Man, that makes me sound like an old man. You probably get it by now, but I'm more familiar with TMNT games than the show and movie themselves. Gotcha. Yeah, that's valid. Oof. Yeah, no, the Ninja Turtles games, like, there's a couple that I have a soft place in my heart for. Like, the Game Boy Advance games. There was TMNT, and then there was TMNT 2 Battle Nexus or something like that. I really enjoyed those ones. Played the GameCube one with my neighbor growing up. I had the one that was based off of the 2003 show on my family's computer. We had the CD-ROM for it. That was fun. I like that. Like, again, I have a soft place in my heart for that game. Not because it was necessarily good, but I did play it a lot. Oy vey. Okay. Now we can go over to Thornfelt Swamp. I feel like that's probably the easiest, fastest route to get there. Fast. Did you have TMNT Game Boy Advance video cartridge? I did not. I don't think I ever owned any of those cartridges. The special ones with the movies and stuff on them. Did I go the completely wrong way? Yeah, I did. Wow. Yeah, I never had any of the Game Boy Advance cartridges that had movies or shows on them. Just games. Nice save. I feel like I'm being a little paranoid by saving here, but I keep doing that, man. I'm like, let me check my map. Hits the L button. Starts triggering the move where you throw a grenade or whatever. Yeah, that's a thing. I mean, I could do a lot of exploring right now, but I kind of don't feel like I should. I feel like I should just go for it. I bet that you would love that cartridge if you got it as a kid. I bet I would, honestly. But I had a lot of the VHS tapes, and then later in life DVDs of the 2003 show, so I was happy with those. I kind of want to go see what that is. I'm gonna. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna. I feel like I should be able to control myself well enough. Again, man! I feel like I should be able to control myself well enough here that, like, oh, I'm only gonna go for this, that, and the other. Like, I'm not gonna go for everything. How do I get this, though? That I'm confused about. Seasoned Explorer, like, I see it, but I can't get it. How do I get that? Like, I want it. How do I get it? Is there something I can blow up down here? I really don't know how I get that. Chris, how many of those, Ninja Turtles cartridges were there? Was it just the one? Oh, I'm so dumb. That's why it gave me the achievement. Like, I managed to trigger at least part of that, secret thing. And then it's like, oh, you found it, good job. I'm like, found what? I ain't found nothing yet. Ow. Power player. I don't know what that means. I'm not willing to go look at the achievements right now to figure that out. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably like playing for 10 hours. Sure, we'll go with that. Okay. It didn't like that idea. Wow, that was awesome. That wasn't quite as awesome. Can I keep going? There. Ow. Well, that was a good place for me to go. Not. Wow, alright, we're in a bad loop. Oh, here we go. I did want to see what this is, though. Rah! Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the stream, friend. How are you? Oh, that's what that secret is. Nice. Welcome to part 3. Probably, most likely, the finale of Ori and the Blind Forest. How was your week, friend? How's Chick-fil-A treating you? Meow. So, right now we're in the secret finding phase of Ori and the Blind Forest. Or, realistically, I should be going for the end at this point. Cannot create Soul Link in an unsafe zone. Well, how's this for a safe zone? Not great, because there's still an enemy here. Man, that feels awesome. This is still considered an unsafe zone, huh? Chick-fil-A has treated me well. I've been doing good. Nothing to write home about, though. You know, honestly, that's not a bad thing. I feel anyway. Like, oftentimes, one of my favorite sayings is, no news is good news. If the status quo is good, then you're good, man. That's at least the way I see it. Although I will admit, most of the time I said that, it was basically just whenever I was checking my mailbox. Like, if we didn't get any mail for that week, I would just say, no news is good news. So how do I get past this? There's gotta be a switch somewhere, right? I really shouldn't continue looking for these secrets. I'm already off the beaten path. I gotta get back to trying to actually, like, beat the game and everything. So what's the best way for me to get to that area? Holy. Maybe that area would have been the best place for me to transport to. I think I'm gonna do that. Get out of here. What was that? Thornfelt Swamp? Hollow Grove. I didn't get to that one yet, I don't think. Did I? Actually, there is some news I forgot to mention. I have a 4-day weekend. I have this Friday off for some reason, and I have Monday off for Labor Day. There you go, man. Awesome. And I guess that's one of the side benefits also of working at Chick-fil-A is that you'll always have Sundays off. Honestly, I was very excited when I remembered that this week, or this coming weekend, is a long weekend due to Labor Day. I get Labor Day off as well. Very excited for that. You know, you would think at this point I would have learned that rushing into things is not always a very good idea. Like, charging head first with my dash here is fun, but boy, it gets me into trouble. And especially with the amount of damage that everything causes. I keep doing that, man. Especially with the amount of damage that everything does. How do I get that? It doesn't know. I don't feel like that was the move. I don't feel like that's what I should have done. Let's go ahead and make a save point, because I feel like I'm going to die soon. I love having Sundays off. Not only is it a guaranteed day off, but your stereotypical monster truck event is on Sunday, Sunday, Sunday! Hey, there you go. Really does work out for the best. So I already got this thing. I keep doing that. Okay, I need to keep going that way. Or maybe I can just go back to the Ginso tree and, yeah, I'm close enough to the Ginso tree that I can warp there to the Thornfelt Swamp. It looks like I haven't gone up there yet. Yeah, let's just do that. Thornfelt Swamp, here we go. Save my game quick. And we'll go to Thornfelt Swamp. And from there, we will go up to Mount Horu. And hopefully beat the game. Oh my goodness. Oh jeepers. See, that's what I'm talking about. I keep getting myself into trouble by just charging headfirst into everything. No subtlety. Absolutely none. Soul Link is still charging. Oh, that's definitely something I want. Oh, sweet. It's pretty easy to get that, actually. There was wind that I wasn't aware of. We're definitely going to work on this branch because the whole halving damage thing definitely would help. I don't think I'm going to get there. There's not enough of the game left at this point for me to get there, but it's the branch that I felt like I would benefit from the most. So, oh, silly me. I shouldn't be going this way. I was just taken aback by how beautiful the scenery is. Enjoying my little walk through the nicely diffused lighting glade and all that. It was nice. And now I'm going back to this place. Woo! But wasn't I just here? Sweet, I got an ability cell. Huh. Maybe I saw it at one point and I was just like, oh, I can't get that right now. Oh, I remember coming here. And I was like, yeah, I shouldn't go here. Because things are able to kill me very, very proficiently here. I should probably not go here right now. I remember that. Good times. Now I have a little bit less, less concern, I guess. I'm a lot tankier now. Not necessarily better at the game, just a lot tankier. Oh! Glad I saved here. There. Insert extremely deep voice. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday! Giant monster trucks clash at the Coliseum. Be there! Or be there, be there, be there! Your $10 ticket gives you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge! Oh, I love that. Yo, Jeff, I forgot it was Friday. Well, welcome, Solar Flare, to the stream. Welcome to part 3 of Ori and the Blind Forest. Probably the finale. How was your week, friend? Jacob, I always did love that quote. Ticket pays for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. I always thought that was very clever. Wow! Hi! Oh, okay. How about we don't, and we say we did, huh? That sounds like a good idea to me. I like that idea. The idea of not and saying that we did. Seems like a great idea to me. Great, I went on another date with that girl. Next time I'm gonna give her flowers and ask her out probably. There you go. Nice. Glad to hear things are progressing there, Solar Flare. I hope that goes, or continues to go well for you. Extremely random question. What's your best Toad impression? I kind of want to make my ears suffer. Is it because I did that whole ticket pays for the whole seat, but you only need the edge thing? Alright. Hi, I'm Toad! That's my best Toad impression. Also, I decided I'm gonna wrestle this year. Since I box, I have the skills for wrestling. So Solar Flare, there you go. You'll be a well-rounded fighter that way. You'll have the ground game of wrestling and the punches and footwork of boxing. That is a good combo, honestly. I tend to really enjoy karate because it has like, it's got a lot of everything, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like jack of all trades, master of none. Like, I got good kicks. I got real good kicks. But I'm not a kickboxer. Taekwondo is probably also better for kicks. Karate has pretty decent punches, but it's no boxing. Karate has decent throws, but it's no jujitsu. Karate has, groundwork, but it's not backwards long jump. But it's not, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or, cheapers. It's not, it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or wrestling. It's kind of like the all-arounder, right? At least I think it is. It's got a little bit of everything. Like, if you're gonna only do one martial art, karate is a good one to choose. When's the MMA match, Jeff? Between me and you? I don't know, man. You said you might decide to go to UB. So, you know, come on over and we'll put our skills to the test. I'd give your monster truck voice impression an 8.5 out of 10. Nice. The voice at the beginning could have been a little more rough-edged, but you absolutely carried that ending. Let's do it. You're on Lamau. I'll rent out the arena. The arena? I don't think we need an arena. The backyard would be good enough. Okay, got rid of him. Whoa. Well, that seemed to be a thing that I wanted to happen. Probably. Yeah, Jacob, I think I just didn't know where I was quite going with that whole, quote-unquote, extremely deep voice. For the whole monster truck thing. I'm glad that I carried it through to the end. Do you spar at all in karate? Yes, some. I feel like we... Are you kidding me? I feel like we could do it more than we do. Lately, we've had a lot of white belts, so we've been going over the fundamentals again, which is fine. Like, I need some more practice in my teaching. I feel like I've gotten to be a pretty good teacher all around. But yeah, we do a little sparring here and there. Whoa. Okay. Wow, everything does so much damage. I'll say this, like, the sparring in the dojo that I go to isn't as much of a focus. But we've done it sometimes, we've talked about getting more into it, and I think I would like to, honestly. Sparring is fun. Yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. After wrestling season, I'll play for my school. I'll go back to boxing and get some amateur fights. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how that goes, honestly. I'm very curious. I've never thought about, like, actually getting into, you know, fights. Like, you know, professionally or for amateur sort of status or any of that sort of stuff. Like, I've never thought about going into competitions for anything other than, like, you know, forms training or, like, demonstration of the knowledge of your skills or something like that. Never really thought about going into competition for, you know, MMA or UFC style fights or whatever. That just seems like a lot for me. If we ever fought, you'd beat me on my kicks by a lot. Like, if we actually fought in the octagon. Yeah, no, my... Boxing does not have kicks, obviously. Like, there are no kicks in boxing. I need to remember to save. I mean, there's real good footwork. So that's awesome. But, yeah, no kicks. Wrestling, ground game is great. And for street fights, I've heard that the best two things to know are boxing and wrestling. Because no one's gonna kick you in the street. Not unless, like, you're down on the ground or something. And at that point, like, you know, boxing is probably the best for, like, the first 90 seconds that you're standing up in a fight. And then wrestling is good for the rest of it. Again, the ground game. It's said that after 90 seconds, most fights are on the ground. And, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I heard that too. Which arena would you rent out, Justin? The Schottenstein Center? I'd let Jeff have home field advantage. So if I go to Buffalo, it'd be in KeyBank Arena. Yeah, sure. That's a home field advantage for me. I'm not gonna wrestle varsity. There's no JV team, but the fighters in the best of their weight class fight in the playoff tournaments. So we call it varsity. My first year, but maybe next year, or I lock in and make it this year by luck. Yeah, you never know. You never know. I do hope that that goes well for you. You know, my dad did wrestling in high school. Beat up one of his bullies using wrestling. In a similar manner that I did when my one bully put me in a headlock and I like elbowed him in the stomach. I used a karate move before I even knew karate. I don't think I needed that. Ah! 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 You know what? That works. That jumping frog dude did 4 hit points of damage to me with 1 hit. That's nuts. I'm starting to think that hard mode in this game was a bad idea. Just a thought. Because it really is not going well for me. Okay, there we go. Speaking of locking in, I need to do so here and now. Alright, you know what? That works. I'm surprised it actually let me save there, just because it's normally like, you can't save in an unsafe place. I'm like, okay, yeah, fair. That's kind of what I was expecting to happen just now. But I lucked out. I'm going to live in boxing tomorrow. I'm going to live boxing. Live boxing, okay. I'm going to live boxing tomorrow in Toledo. My gym gave out tickets. That ought to be fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I was invited by my my sensei to go to a Kyokushin tournament, just to go watch. And I couldn't make it, but yeah, that's something I would like to go to at some point. Those Kyokushin guys are ridiculous. Like, honestly, if I... Oh, hang on. Darkness brought them to this forsaken place. At the gates of Mount Horu, a tough decision was made. What do you mean, tough decision was made? I mean, this seems pretty straightforward to me. I like boxing more than wrestling, but I'm doing the season because it's good to fight for my school, diverse my fighting style, and get a varsity letter. If you win a single match, you letter. There you go. Yeah, and like I said, it's good to have an all-around good, you know, diversified moveset. Nibel's source of warmth, all its glory is burned. Let's be careful. Many of those that entered this place have never returned. Okay. I don't think there's really anything else to explore out here. And I got most of the stuff. There's one thing I missed, at least. Yeah, let's continue. Mount Horu, into the fire. This is the last dungeon in the game. We're very close to the end. I think we can do this. The element of warmth is close, but the mountain, I've never seen it this way. We've come so far, so much has been lost. You can't give up now. We must enter the fray. You with those rhymes. I'd rather be a pro boxer than a UFC fighter, though, if I had a choice. I'm not going pro level, even if I couldn't. Even if I could, I'd be a paycheck-to-paycheck journeyman, not the world champion. Yeah, honestly, fighting professionally, that is a short-lived career, honestly. Like, those guys retire early for a reason. Not because it's all fun and games, but because, like, their body can only take so much abuse. I feel like the Rocky movies actually kind of describe that well. Like, in the second movie, yeah, it was the second movie. Rocky's coach was like, you know, testing his vision. He's like, you know, let me know when you can see my hand. And like coming up to your face, and then he couldn't see it until it was like there. He's like, yeah, by the time you see that, you got punched. So, yeah. And he was only like in his 30s. And I'm like, I'm in my 30s. Like, if I had done professional boxing or professional MMA or something like that, I'd probably already be retired. At the very least, I'd be considered old. And I don't like to think like that. I don't like to think about that reality. It's depressing. Alright, can I just... Yeah, I can just... Oh, not good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because Rocky's eye got busted in the first. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it got busted in the first, it was that it was already pretty bad. And it got worse in the first. Some boxer won a world title at 50. Jeepers. That's nuts. Ow. You know, I only recently watched the Rocky movies. Sky and I had a really good time watching them together. It's my first time watching them, and she'd seen them before, but... Yeah, like, I had never seen them. Enjoyed it, though. A lot of the stuff that happened in there definitely made me think of Karate Kid, and, if I remember right, a lot of the stuff in Karate Kid drew its inspiration from Rocky. So, that makes sense. I don't have the map stone fragment. Boy, this place is something else. Why does Rocky never put his hands up? It makes me so mad. You know, honestly, that's a good question, Solar Flare. I always think that when I watch Taekwondo guys fight. I'm like, guys, guard up, man. Okay, this is number 1, it looks like. I started watching the Rocky movies 2 weeks ago with my dad, and I haven't seen 4, but I know what happens. We'll skip 5, watch the 6th because I've heard it's good, then watch the 3 Creed movies. That's a good question, Solar Flare. Wow, way to use my government name. Yeah. Yeah, I like to mix it up every once in a while. Now, we haven't gotten to watch 5 or 6 yet. Yeah, we've only seen 1 through 4. And I'd like to watch the Creed movies too. Okay, what exactly does that do for me? Not much, it turns out. The guy who plays Drago is the best looking guy I've ever seen. It's a solar flare. Oh, the Russian guy. I must break you. I love how the movie plays out, but I'm excited to watch it in action. I know how the movie plays out, but I'm excited to watch it in action. Dude, Rocky IV was hard for me to watch. That was a tough one. Especially like in the first third of the movie. Holy. Muhammad Ali, Jacob. Oh, since Jake Paul defeated Mike Tyson, I have a top 5 list for his next boxing opponents. Yeah, he definitely paid Mike Tyson off. That was ridiculous. Rocky 3 was tough already. I know what happens in 4. I'm not ready for it. Yeah, no, it's tough. That one's tough. I'm not even gonna say that much, but you know, just because I don't want to spoil a 30-year-old movie or whatever. But like the way that he kind of showboated before the actual match started, and then what happened at the end of the match, oh, it was tough. That was tough to watch. Paul is finally fighting a real boxer. 60 pounds less than him. Oh, jeez. Number 5, The Rock. Number 4, Muhammad Ali. Number 3, Pope Francis. Number 2, Joe Biden. And number 1, Queen Elizabeth. Jeff, apparently Creed 2 expands on Rocky 4. Lamau, I love how The Rock is just there. Gervonta Davis is gonna kill him despite being smaller. Hope he does. Honestly, I feel like nobody, like everybody wants to see Jake Paul get, let's just say, his due, yeah? Like nobody likes the guy. I would love to see him get absolutely wrecked by an actual boxer. Not to say like he can't fight. He obviously can, but it's not like he's pro. Like, I don't think I would win against Jake Paul, that's for sure. I was holding down the X button. I expected that to do the thing. Like, the Creeds are about Creed's son. In Creed 2, he fights Drago's son, and Rocky and the Russian guy from 4 are the cornermen. That's very cool. You know, I'm always surprised when I hear that there's like 6 Rocky movies and then 3 follow-ups. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed all 4 of the Rocky movies I have watched so far, so I'm sure that I would enjoy the rest of them. I can't stand the Paul brothers, so I'd love to see that, says Jacob. As they fought for their lives among the fires of Horu. Man. They're coming to help me. It's so sweet. Naru wished solely to see her child again. That's so sweet. Paul does have a loss the one time when he fought a real boxer. I heard 5 is the worst, but my favorite real boxer, Rip Tommy Morrison, stars in it, so I might give it a watch. Yeah, I mean, I would. So what's up here? Nothing of import. Well, that went pretty well, I'd say. There we go, that's better. I feel like having that dash move is kind of cheating. Because it's a DLC move. And it's like, it's not gonna win you the game or anything, but there are certainly some situations where it comes in handy. Ori, these rocks appear unstable. Through my light, we might be able to use them to stop the lava from spreading. Perfect. I definitely remember this area being tough. There's like 6 different challenges, if I remember right. Uh-oh. Okay, made it. Eek! Dude! Get me up there! You know, I feel like I feel like I'm playing Ori and the Blind Forest at a really bad time. Like, this game is great, and I'm very much enjoying it, but, like, as I'm playing it, I'm just thinking, man, I want to be playing Hollow Knight right now. Or, man, Hollow Knight Silksong comes out next week. Which is nuts, by the way. We've been waiting 6 or 7 years for that game. And, now it's finally coming out. And it's like, I don't feel like we got that much notice either. Which I'm not gonna complain about, but I guess the point is, like, as I'm playing this game, once again, I'm just thinking about Hollow Knight. And how much I want to be playing that game. And I feel like that's unfair to this game, because this game is very good, it's just... Man, I'm very hyped for Silksong. Also, Silksong is finally coming out? Yes! Yes, it got announced last week that it's coming out September 4th. It still doesn't quite feel real, but Silksong is real. I can see it now, Jeff. 2029, Keybank Arena, with a whopping 40 fans in the audience watching ringside as Solar Flare or Lubba Official, when I start that channel, beats the Yoshi Fanatic by submission in round 2. Honestly, by the amount of training you've had by then, that's not completely out of the question. Six, 7? Is there anyone who thinks that's actually funny, or is it all just like an ironic thing? Oof. You know, after Silksong, I might just go back and play Will of the Wisps. Or is that also going to be like a bad time to play that game? Because I'm just coming off the heels of Silksong, and then I'll just be comparing it to that game, and then it's not a fair comparison. Well, at that point, I'd be 2 years removed from my last wrestling season. I'd only be fresh on boxing. Nobody actually thinks 6-7 is funny, but it's so ironic I'll actually laugh. Okay. I'll do the sponsors. Wow, what a block. You never, you know what else blocks? NordVPN! Sponsor of this wrestling or this boxing match. I guess technically it would be MMA, wouldn't it? It would be boxing slash wrestling versus karate. It's technically MMA. Okay, what am I doing here? Well, getting back to where I was. Like my math teacher said, let's do problems 6 and 7, and I couldn't stop laughing from the stupidity. Oh. And is your teacher in the know? Like, does he know what that whole thing means? Or was he just like, what the heck is your problem? Wow, good job, Jeff. I get the feeling I don't actually need to beat these guys. Or maybe I do. I don't think so. I think I just kneecapped myself. My math teacher didn't, lol. That must have been quite the scene. Then my business law teacher deliberately made the joke and people laughed because of how unfunny it was. I'll give you 6-7 minutes. 6-7. Actually, since I film 90% of the monster truck events I attend, I'd probably be the cameraman during the fight. There you go. Okay, wait, what am I supposed to do here? Am I actually supposed to kill all of these things? I mean, it's a lot easier doing it on the way down than the way up. Maybe I am. Like, this seems doable. Doable, not easy. Before continuing with this funeral, let's thank our sponsor NordVPN. Jeff, we need a viewer who can learn how to ref 3 real judges and it just be streamed on your channel in a UFC broadcast style with commentators. Oh, and an undercard of other fights. We can get Joe Rogan, he's a UFC color commentator. Yeah, somehow I don't think we would get Mr. Rogan. He'd be like, wow, 2 nobodies fighting each other. Oh my goodness, who cares? Though, admittedly, Mr. Rogan does enjoy himself a good martial arts matchup. Doink. Oh yeah, we got this. Yep, we totally needed to do that. There it is. Who would be the commentator? I think John would be great. Yes, John will be the head commentator. Color commentary who can give insight though. It's gonna be an engineer versus a marketing student at the end of the day, unless I'm a low budget pro fighter alongside college. I'd only go pro in boxing. UFC isn't my thing. Yeah, that's definitely fair. And then there's me, just some guy who does karate once a week. Okay. I need to go over here next, right? Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I think there's a total of 6 of these challenges. Blast Master. Wait, what does that actually do for me? Is it? Oh! Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna go well. If Plush is a staff member, what would be her role? But for a white collar match, it's us, Jeff, going down September 22nd, 2029, the biggest arena available, Buffalo, New York. Alrighty, let's pencil it in. Beat that guy up. She could be a cutman or a cutman or something. She wouldn't want to be involved in the actually fighting. September 311:59. Team Cherry lost the files of all versions of Silk Song, so they have to recode the entire game. That would be a tragedy. Will I get smushed here? Doesn't seem like it. And that progress is going to be undone here. Strange that in Melee, the trophy for Yoshi is a completely different design from his game, his in-game look. That is interesting, Yoshi Daffy Duck. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, good. I met September 3rd, 11:59. Oh. Gotcha. Aurora would provide us with the stats on both fighters. I could see that, honestly. I keep doing that. The L button is not to check the map. I've just been playing way too much Hollow Knight this last week. And that's a fact. Like, I've put 17 hours into that game this last week alone. Which, I know that's not a ton, that's like an average of 2 hours a day. But, for me, that is a lot. Who's gonna be our ref? We have to teach them how to properly ref a fight. Like, if one of us needs a TKO and the ref doesn't call it, somebody could actually get hurt. Actually, Plush would probably be the interviewer slash reporter. There you go. In a real fight, we're not leaving unscathed, but someone is dying with a bad ref. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a risk. Ooh! Oy. Not create soul link near enemies. Like, this is the closest. Oh, that's not the closest one. Okay, I see. It's just not gonna let me make a soul link in here. And I remember this being like a chase sequence. Okay, we'll go with that. And I can save here, that's very, very good. What would be worse than listening to the Yoshi's New Island Platinum Edition for 24 hours straight? Listening to it while a child is sitting next to me, getting the most amusement of his or her young life, and continuing to badger me to play it again and again and again. That's what would be worse. Okay, well, that went well. Glad I saved. Name some of the other Yoshi Fanatic members that are usually active in chat. Robert, Chris, Golden Guy's here gotten to be pretty active. How about J to the P Moreno? Sometimes DV is here. Not as often these days, but yeah. Oh yeah, Blues Cat as well. I'm active, but I just lurk and do stuffs. And you are absolutely welcome to do that, friend. Nothing wrong with lurking. So there you go. You've got a pretty good selection, a pretty good Yoshi Fanatic stream crew. Is a scale of on a scale of 0 to 100, how new is Yoshi's New Island? Like 10. Who can we fight with who can we trust with fighter's safety? Get out of here, Mr. Glowy. Chris says, I'm not only a Yoshi fanatic, I'm a media fanatic. Didn't you say at one point that you were gonna make a, like some kind of SpongeBob video, like I watched every SpongeBob episode so you don't have to sort of thing? I'm asking this because I could see them as staff members during the fight, says Jacob. Eep. Yeah, I haven't got my new laptop yet, says Chris. I only like SpongeBob seasons 1 through 3. A very cold take, says Solar Flare. See, I don't really know what the, like, I don't know SpongeBob on a, oh, what is it, like, I haven't watched so much SpongeBob that I can identify the different seasons, I'll say that. Oof. Imagine if there was a mod for New Island that replaces the title screen with the one from Platinum Edition. Please no. We need a mod of the game that will actually improve it. Why did they call it Platinum Edition, by the way? Platinum usually signifies something good. For platinum is one of the rare earth minerals. Or rare earth metals. Wow, I did that last time. Got the same exact result. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I vaguely remember some of this. Okay, I know what I'm supposed to do here. Not rely on my dodge. Or my dodge. My, dash. Hey there, Jeff. Oh, Justin, you're still awake? Heck yeah, welcome to the stream, Brain Pick. Chocolate episode is one of my favorites, and the fish that shouts, "Chocolate!" in the entire episode is so funny. Finally! I've been chasing you guys around all day! Now that I've got you where I want you, I'd like to buy all of your chocolate. Thank you for your patronage. Would you want the soundtrack for the next Yoshi game to be made with crying sounds and kazoos? What do you think the answer is, Mr. Golden Guy? Brainpick, he's our ref, Jeff. There you go. Brainpick, are you free in 2029? Me and Jeff are doing a 3-round MMA match. We need a ref. Ah, no! Well, that went well. I definitely need to save closer to that standpoint. Alright. 5 minutes per round standard. Ooh. It's nerve-wracking. Well, I can't move this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is Yoshi Daffy Duck. Thank you. 2003 series of Ninja Turtles is still my favorite. And at this point, that may or may not be a hot take. I'm not sure. But I feel like enough people look back with fondness on the 2003 series at this point. It's kind of sad that the Yoshi games are now seen as made for toddlers, because I feel that vibe with Crafted Worlds, says Golden Guy. Yeah. It's so interesting, because the theming of the Yoshi games up to this point, or with Yoshi's New Island, Yoshi's Woolly World, and this, well, I guess especially Yoshi's Crafted World, like, the theming of it is very much like, oh, this is made for toddlers. But actual toddlers struggle with the game. Like, JJ is still struggling with the Yoshi games. Because, realistically, it's interesting. Because, mechanically speaking, they're more complicated than, like, most of the Mario games. Like, you have the egg throwing, you've got the flutter jump, you've got the mechanics of, you know, the boosted flutter jump, you've got the ground pound. Although I guess newer Mario games do have the ground pound. But just in general, you've got movesets that are more varied and more complex than most of the Mario movesets. And then JJ, I think, is a lot like me in that he wants to find everything. But especially in Yoshi's Woolly World, which he's been playing recently, some of those secrets are really frustrating. He was in World 2 level. He was in one of the World 2 levels this last week. It was like the Fluttering Dunes or something like that. It's the one where, like, you've got the waves of sand that, like, go everywhere, or like they're like waves of water. They'll move like a wave of water. Oh my goodness. And and then there's one section in quote unquote indoor section where in order to progress you have to find the hidden item cloud that has the switch that stops the sand dunes from waving around. And JJ didn't know that. Like, he was getting very frustrated because he thought that if he just ran fast enough, he could outrun the sand dune that was trapping him, or keeping him from making it under the platform he was trying to get through. And I had to do that part for him twice because I'm like, JJ, there's like a hidden thing here. So, yeah. Long story short, I guess, is that the Yoshi games really aren't for toddlers. I'd say that their main like age group that they should be going for is probably the 6 to 10-year-olds. Probably. Or at least if that's the like if this is the direction they're leaning towards, having the games be for exclusively a younger audience, or like more heavily aimed at the younger audience, then it should probably be the 6 to 10-year-olds, not the toddlers. So yeah, anyway. Should I catch up on all these comments? You guys talking about politics. Nintendo literally made a toddler game this year, and that's the free Hello Mario game. Yeah, I don't know about that one, fam. I saw that come out, but I don't know how I feel about it. I think the stigma with Yoshi games are for toddlers is pretty overblown at this point. I mean, yeah, the art style really looks like it's a kid's game, but that doesn't mean you can't like those games. Yeah, no, like, well, I'll be, yeah, I'll come back to that. Hey Jeff, could I actually be the manager during the fight? You know, it's kind of Solar Flare making those calls. You can talk to him about it. By the way, Jeff, I just realized something. Silk Song releases on my mom's birthday. Whoa. Hey, Mom, happy birthday. Can you get me Silk Song, please? No, that's awesome, actually. Yeah, no, like, just like any kid's game, like, you can be an adult and enjoy the games. I don't think anyone's, like, debating that. It's just, you know... They are... I think the ease of the games isn't quite overblown. Like, there was a Spawncast episode that I was watching at one point, where they had Jordan Fringe on there, and he was like, Yoshi games are the only games that I know of that have 2 easy modes. Like, the base game is easy, and then, just in case that's too hard, here's a mode that makes it even easier. You literally can't die. So that's like the general perception of the Yoshi games, I think, more than like they're made for toddlers. I think that's more what it is. Like, they're themed at young children, but that's not really the problem. Like, Yoshi's Crafted World definitely wore its, like, targeting a younger demographic on its sleeve, big time. Yeah. But you're right, I think the games being, like, meant for toddlers is definitely overblown, like you said. Okay, nice, it actually saved there for me. How do I actually... Oh, okay. No. I don't actually like fighting friends except in Super Smash Bros. This is Blue's Cat. To be honest, like... I don't think I've ever, like, fought my friends. But... I've always thought it could be fun if we ever decided we wanted to do that. And Jeff... We're gonna find a way to make this for charity, because why not? That'd make it better. Yeah, right? Like, there's an actual point to it now. Alright, can I go ahead and save here? Nice. This area looks really cool, says Chris. It is. We're inside a volcano, I think. I think that's the general idea. Whoa! Phew. It's getting hot in here. I don't know why I said that. I shouldn't have said that. Definitely final area worthy. For sure. Okay. I think we finally got the lava level down. And they still found a way to die. Wow. This area is not forgiving at all. I don't think that that was necessarily worth it. Although I guess it wasn't not worth it. Also, Jeff, don't remember telling you this, but about 2 months ago, I've been doing rock climbing. It's pretty dang sick. That's awesome. Look at you guys getting all into your jobs and hobbies and all that sort of stuff. I love it. Uh-oh. You know, I feel like this was poorly planned. I'm surprised Ori didn't get a heat stroke or catch on fire because of how close Ori is on the lava. Yeah, tell me about it. We're growing up, Uncle Jeff. You sure are, guys. You sure are. I really want to see Ori's take on snow area. Maybe put some Aurora in the background. There is a snow area. We could... Well, I guess if you wanted to check that out, it's in the last live stream. 7-Eleven pizza is the best thing I've tasted yet. You mean like today, or like you really, really like 7-Eleven pizza to the point it's one of your favorite foods? Which way are we going with this, friend? Oh yeah, says Chris. Yeah. Yeah, the last like hour of the last live stream I was doing the snowy area. Is there anything over here? What is this? But now what do I do? Is there another spot over there I'm supposed to go to? Where have I not gone? I feel like I've done all the things. But there's still lava here. What have I not done yet? Jeff, could you be our godfather? Legally, probably. Do you think Nintendo is using Charles Martinet as a live entertainment voice actor because his voice can be heard in Universal Studios and the meet and greet autographs? Isn't his official role like the Super Mario ambassador right now? Whatever the heck that means. Did I like forget to do a thing in here? Yeah, I did. Did I? This looks like something I didn't forget to do. I'm so confused. Jeff, make me one of your kids' godfather. That'd be Aura. I'm so confused. What am I supposed to be doing right now? Did I maybe just... What did I miss? Ow. Charles' new role in Nintendo is pretty weird. Still don't understand at all what is the point, what is the purpose of it. Yeah, like, it would probably help if I understood anything he was actually doing right now. Waluigi or Wario? Wario. I'm gonna go with Wario. Is it this one? Yeah, I haven't done this yet. Also, Jeff, if you ever want to send your kids to Christian school, Catholic school is actually pretty good. Even for Protestants, if you can't find a Protestant-run school or send them to public school, like a nerd. I was thinking about sending our kids to a local Christian school. We do have one in our area. My cousin's kids actually go to it, which is cool. And then someone I know from church works there. Again, pretty cool. So, if we do end up sending them to a private school, I think I know where I'm going to send them. Although we would need financial aid. Like bums. Sweet, I can actually kill those things. Not sweet, I think I actually needed that thing. Maybe not. About 10 years ago, my uncle found Charles in Anaheim. Their picture is still framed up. That's pretty cool, honestly. I've always wanted to meet Charles Martinet. I feel like he'd be a pretty friendly guy. A likable fella, I bet. I live in a somewhat affluent suburb, but when I talk to my friends in an even more rich suburb, I call my neighborhood the North Side to have more street cred. You wouldn't understand what it's like in the North Side. In Ohio, we have a thing called Ed Choice, where if you live in a bad school district, you can get a lot of aid for one of the nice Catholic schools in the area. That's what I did. Golden Guy asks, what is 6'7"? Is it the new 6'9" or what? Sounds like it's just some lyric that some rapper said in one of his latest songs or whatever. And like, just for some reason just caught on. I still don't really understand why. Yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Yes, Jeff, you explained it. Yeah, I finally internalized it. I finally now can say I kind of understand what's going on with the whole 6'7" thing. Kinda. More or less. I still don't understand why it's funny. Sounds like it's kind of just more of an ironic sense. But yeah, the thing is, like, I actually live in a pretty good school district. Like, everyone's always talking about how good the school district is that we live in. But, you know, public school is not really a thing that I'm super thrilled with the direction of right now, so. Jeff, who should be on the undercard? I don't know what the undercard is. So. If you haven't gotten it, Solar Flare, I haven't really watched many MMA matches other than like highlights from YouTube shorts. Pretty long time ago, but when I first found Jeff, I watched his streams through my TV, so probably started typing in chat around 2022. Jeepers, it's been a while, Brain Pick. No! I just got fried. I am in a bottom 10 school district in Ohio, despite it being a pretty nice area. It's just that Columbus is not good at running public schools. That's crazy. Yeah, our school district I've heard is one of the better ones around, so yeah, even if we had that whole Ed Choice program, I have a feeling that we wouldn't qualify. Oh, right, okay. I'm silly. Still, I've heard that you can get some pretty decent financial aid. Like up to 50% off. But it's still like $5 grand for the year. Which doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot. And realistically, it's probably not, but that's It's like $500 a month. That's what I'm putting into my retirement right now. It's like I could either retire or I could send my kid to public school or to private school. And that's just for one of them. So well, DeWine passes the law making ed choice kind of apply to everyone. It's weird, but if you apply, you'll probably get it. We should get more white-collar fights, not pros, says Solar Flare. There's that whole, what is it, like, backyard fights or whatever it's called. Like, it's just this fight where some, like, not professional fighters, but clearly fighters who are trained in martial arts get together and fight each other. Like, I've seen those videos. Street beefs? I don't think it's street beefs. Because it literally looks like it's in a backyard. It's crazy how different the chat is in terms of how long everybody's watched Jeff. But I absolutely love it. I bet you feel like a proud uncle. I really do. Like, some of you guys started watching in, like, late 2021. Some of you started in, like, early 2022. Some of you guys joined, like, since my Mario Bros. Wonder stream series. It's kind of wild just how varied that the timeline is. April 2022 for me, says Solar Flare. Justin, you are correct. It was Ghost of Tsushima. This was the last weekend of January 2022. That would have been 2021. Last weekend of January. Oh no, you were right. January 2022. I started my series for that in 2021. That's why I'm thinking 21 in 2021. 21. I've been here for so long. So many people have come and gone. I wonder if someone we haven't seen in a while is gonna show up one day. Making the top 10 was the best thing you ever did, Jeff. It was, honestly. Like, that was definitely the thing that got a lot of my current YouTube viewers, you know, in the door, as it were. Like, top 10s are very searchable. And I felt like that was a good start, too, because, like, it kind of gave you the, like, the rundown of the way I look at the Yoshi games, like well, obviously how I rank them, but it kind of gives you a general priority or a general idea of what I prioritize, I guess. It was a good introduction. Well, you said 21 like Yoshi. I said it like that that one meme. You stupid. No, I'm not. What's 9 plus 10? 21? You stupid. Is that, like, outdated at this point? Does anybody remember that? The best stream I went to was Robobot Part 3. Yoshi's Island SNES was a great early series for me. Part 9 of Yoshi's Island DS! Let's go until 3, Jeff. I'm having too much fun. Well, I'm glad you're having fun. I can't believe it's almost been 3 hours already. Nice. So, where am I going at this point? Very outdated, Jeff. Now it's 67, not 21. It's been so long. I don't remember what the first stream of yours I tuned into, but I first saw you in 2023, says Blues Cat. I'm glad you guys have all stuck around that long, by the way. Like, that feels really good to have loyal viewers. Loyal fans. And I would go so far as to say online friends. It's been great making y'all's acquaintance. Can I say y'all in 2025 without people making fun of me? Probably not. Jeepers, these guys are beefy. And you can only kill them by reflecting their things back at them. I don't like that so much. Yo, what a pull, Jacob. We should bring back the Jeff Awards. I would love to see someone obscure return, such as Plankton with some soda. I feel like I do remember that name. You know who I've been thinking about that I've been missing lately? Is Retro Records. My very first loyal live stream viewer on YouTube ever. He's still in the Discord, but he's not active in there pretty much at all, and he hasn't been into a live stream in quite a while. Not since, I think, Yoshi's Island DS. Maybe it's been a little bit more recent than that, but that's the last time I remember. Oh, I did it already. Nice. But I do often wonder how he's doing. I think about reaching out to Cryoside and asking him how he's been doing these days. And then there was Starlow / Spider-Man / Ross. Retro Records! Also remember Chicken Plays. I do remember Chicken Plays. Jeffy came in Mario RPG in a crazy return, I thought. Maybe that's what it was. I remember Cryoside coming in like Metroid Prime. Yeah, maybe Retro Records did come in for Mario RPG. The element of warmth is within our grasp. With the elements restored, we could undo the effects of her wrath. All the rhymes, man. Here comes Kuro. There's someone who came and went during my tenure. Oh my. Oh my. Where am I to hide? Where can I hide? Okay, I guess gotta keep running, because like hiding behind stuff is not... It does not seem to be the play. Jeff, remember when I kicked your butt in Mario Party? Yeah, I do remember that. Sky was actually bringing that up the other day. Because, like, we were playing Mario Party Jamboree. And I don't know why, I don't know what triggered it, but she remembered us playing, oh, jeepers. She remembered us playing Mario Party all together, and some chance time thing happened, or... Something happened where I was, like, absolutely losing. So yeah, I discovered the Yoshi Fanatic after the "Is Yoshi's New Island Really That Bad" video showed up on my front page randomly, close to summer break. And I discovered the streams after. I randomly clicked the live stream section, and when I discovered the stream for the first stream I tuned in was, I think, part 8 of Kirby and the Forgotten Land streams. All in 2025. That's awesome, Golden Guy. Hey Jeff and Justin, I'm gonna pull some old names from summer 2022 chats and see if you recognize them. Alright. Yeah, let's see what happens. I have a feeling that I first showed up in Super Mario RPG Remake stream, but not sure, says Chris. Bro, my brother's moved out. I have nobody to play Mario Party with. Maybe my girl is a huge Mario fan. I don't know about. It's a Solar Flare. I'll tell you this, Solar Flare. Mario Party was like the set of games that got Sky to be more of a gamer. She's not really a gamer, but like, it's the thing that got her to play Nintendo games with me. We gotta do this all in one shot, man. Like, she didn't really care for video games much before. Like, she liked the Tomb Raider series, just more because of nostalgia, like watching her mom and her uncle play it when she was young. And she always liked the character of Lara Croft. But beyond that, oh, and she did play some Animal Crossing, so she's not like completely against video games or anything, but her exposure to video games was pretty limited. And then I told her about Mario Party, and I'm like, Sky, I think you'll like Mario Party. It's like a video game mixed with a board game, and she's like, I love board games. So then she started playing Mario Party. And she's got at least 50, if not 100 hours in all 3 of the Switch Mario Parties. So yeah, that was definitely, oh, and she got into Mario Kart shortly after that. Oh, you really do have to do this all in one thing. All in one run. And I know you can't save. Because this is like the grand finale, yo. I will say it is kind of underwhelming that the grand finale is not you fighting something, it's you running away from something. Like, this game really doesn't have the most compelling boss fights, I will say. Or combat in general. But, you know, it's so strong in so many other areas that it really doesn't detract from the game that much, I guess. And it's not like it's bad, it's just not a strong suit. Buckets Ram says, greetings. Anything you hate about this game, says Buckets Ram. Well, welcome to the stream, Mr. Buckets. Or, I guess I should just say Buckets. Buckets or Ram? What do you prefer, Buckets or Ram? Welcome to the stream. Anything I hate about this game? There's not really anything I hate about this game, per se. More just... I think the combat is fairly weak. Mostly because it's not like your character actively doing something. It's just like some spark floating by you that throws, you know, that throws attacks from a range. And like there are like direct attacks you could do, like the stomp that I was just doing, or the super jump thing. But overall, the combat's fairly weak. And the fact that most of the quote-unquote boss fights are like chase scenes, or like, you know, you're running away from something rather than fighting something, that's a little bit underwhelming. But like I said, it's not that it's necessarily bad, it's just I don't think that the combat is this game's strong suit. But I love the game. Like, the game has so much going for it that the weak combat really doesn't bug me that much. Bucket. Okay, I will go with Bucket. I really do need to get back to some comments, and I will. After I get done running away from Kuro here. Oh my goodness. Let me catch up on some comments now. Okay. If not, maybe Mario World Yoshi Island Plus stream. That was a lot of fun. Also, Jeff, there's a girl in my class whose last name is Miyamoto. You should ask if her dad's name is Shigeru. Was Princess Peach Showtime a good game? It wasn't talked about at all. I thought it was alright. Pretty decent. I liked it. Jeff and Justin, let's start with a good one. Remember the philosopher Dr. Jeffrey? Yeah, he's pretty active in the Discord whenever I mention an indie game. He was a goat. My favorite thing that he said, there were a few of my favorite things he said, but one of my favorites was, bro, cheese is literally just a loaf of milk. I didn't realize he was still here. He really is the GOAT. He is. Broshi hasn't been to a stream in a while, but last time I checked in with him on Instagram, he was in the hospital, so I don't blame him. Yeah, truly, no. What happened to Broshi was low-key scary. He had a heart attack, and they found a cancer somewhere and had to remove it. He's good now. Happy he's good, for sure. Wonder why this game or the sequel didn't get much attention. At least it feels that way. I don't know. I feel like this game got a good amount of attention. Like, it's not as big as Hollow Knight or like Shovel Knight or those games, but I feel like Ori and the Blind Forest is still very well renowned. Yeah, I wouldn't say that this game like flew under the radar that much. It is an indie game. It's not gonna get like all the publicity of, well, the AAA games, obviously. But I don't feel like it's not. I feel like it's not that it just didn't get much press or whatever. I feel like it got a fair amount. And especially all the... Uh-oh. Oh, okay, good. Owies. Especially with the whole being on Game Pass thing for Will of the Wisps. Oh, I'm supposed to jump on these. Man, this is hard. He was also more of a Discord fan, not much of a stream fan. Jeff, I'm out of my Jeff viewing prime. I used to call bingos and make award shows. Yeah, I missed that, Justin. I missed that. You know, the Jeff Award show was really fun to do. I like that I went and got a blazer. And just put it on over my polo shirt. Classic Jeff moment, that. I really don't feel like... I feel like the dash does make this section easier by quite a bit. Like I almost feel like it's cheating. Not quite, but almost. Like, I got a lot of mileage out of that dash move, honestly. But the light grenade thing, I didn't get a ton of mileage out of that one. Uh-oh. You know, one last rock would have been nice there. Yes, I was just comparing it to Hollow Knight in my head, but why? Because it's more linear, maybe? Says Buckets. I think it's because both games are Metroidvania style games. That's more what it is that they're in the same genre. I'm sure you know what a Metroidvania is, right? Like, the kind of game where you explore a somewhat open level design. Like, the levels and worlds are all connected in some respect. There's hidden items everywhere that help you grow and get stronger, whether it be like incremental power-ups like health upgrades or, you know, energy or ammo upgrades or weapons upgrades or that kinds of thing, or if it's like completely new abilities. Those things are hidden all around the world, and they're hidden in such a way that, you know, you have to come back on occasion. Just to backtrack and come back and do something that you couldn't do before. That's like Metroidvania in a nutshell. And both games are that. Like, both Ori and the Blind Forest, well, Will of the Wisps I'd say more so, but Will of the Wisps, Blind Forest, Hollow Knight, these are all like the pinnacle of indie game Metroidvanias. And there certainly are others. Oh, here we go. But these ones I feel like stand out from the rest. Axiom Verge I've heard is also very good. Alright, anyway. She left them to burn, though she vanquished my light. Ori, please get up. Oh, did she actually say that? Like, she doesn't usually say, like, all of the dialogue, in, like, English. She usually does, like, some gibberish talk after saying Ori. We need to have another group chat again, Justin. We do. The spirit tree is so close. He's our only hope left. There's another goat we need to recognize. Tyon/Rock. He's here sometimes. Currently making a new profile picture in MS Paint. I kind of got tired of the Clippy profile picture. The spirit tree's near. There's one step more to take. The forest of Nibel will live once again. And then Kuro does not think so. Just like that. I remember this ending. Yeah, honestly, this is... It gets to be a tearjerker, dude. That's something that this game does a really good job of. Jeff, I can't believe I peaked at 13. Love. You know, I wish they would have, like, kept that achievement prompt until after this. That would have been probably better. So Ori died? This is golden guy. Ori's not dead, but, you know, like, well. Kuro's like, oh, I just murdered a child. And in the end, Kuro decided to save the forest that she had put in peril. Why did games and movies have to be sad? I don't care about catharsis or whatever Greek nerd stuff. No, I haven't seen this ending! No! Kuro! She sacrificed herself. She did the right thing. No, are you serious? This is solar flare. Yeah, man. She sacrificed herself, and after putting the forest into peril, she ultimately aided in its rescue. So that just happened. It's a solar flare. Look at that. He's right behind me, isn't he? I'm speechless, says Jacob. What a story, man. Gumon is happy, or Gumo. Gumo or Gumon, I have no idea what his name is. And then the nice... There's the egg! There's Kuro's egg! The last egg, her last child. We've taken the orphan in. Ori and the Blind Forest. Yay! What a good game. Touching story, fantastic visual and music, good gameplay, really good gameplay. There's really not a lot that I don't like about this game. Like I said, the biggest problem I have with it is really the combat, and I wonder how much of that is just looking back at it in retrospect after I played Will of the Wisps. Like, Will of the Wisps did the combat so much better that coming back to this one feels like, man, like, the combat really had a long ways to go, but it's not that it's bad, it's just it had a lot of improvement that could be done. But everything else about this game was fantastic. Very happy about this game. And I'm glad I got to play it on here. I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I know I did. Have you played Will of the Wisps? Yeah, sorry, Buckets. Yeah, I have. In fact, I have both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps on Switch cartridge. Very happy about that. Technically, there's also a Switch cartridge that has both games on it, which that's pretty cool. The end! I have only cried at a movie once, never at a game, not counting being sad when not being sad I sucked when I was 7. I need to play a new story game. I should finish DK. You should finish DK. I'd like to play it whenever I get a Switch too. It's crazy how they fixed the combat in the next game and everyone started calling it Hollow Knight. Did everyone start calling it Hollow Knight? I think Ori has it does a great job setting itself apart. Like, I've never gotten confused or like mistaken one game for the other. They're so distinct, I think. I mean, obviously they're both 2D, they're both Metroidvania games, but man, there's a lot that sets them apart, you know? I think. List of Nintendo catchphrases. Pollo, have a rotten day. Yoshi, let's go. Currently finished my MS Paint profile picture. This is Golden Guy. Oh, what is it? Hollow Knight next? Hollow Knight Silk Song is next. And I can't believe I'm saying that. That is insane. We've waited 6 or 7 years. Like, I've not been streaming for as long as we've been waiting for Silk Song. That's insane. What gorgeous music. It really is, man. It really is. Like, the music is absolutely one of the strongest points of these games. And, like, that's saying something just with how good these games are. Microsoft Studios helped with this? Yes, they did. Microsoft Studios and Moon Studios brought this game to market. And then they ended up bringing it to the Switch later, which I was really happy about. Justin, didn't you say you cried during Rosalina's story? I made myself cry to relate to people in the comments. I was 9, I kid you not. The only movie to make me cry was this Japanese movie called Your Name. It's the greatest movie I've ever seen. Oh, and Endgame, that makes 2. There you go. I held back tears successfully at Rocky 3, not 4. Moon Studios would like to thank all the fans of Ori and the Blind Forest for their continued and heartfelt support. Man, that's so cute. I love this. I love this game so much. What a great way to end this. Back where it all began. Naru and Ori eating fruits happily together. Man, what a nice game. I love Ori and the Blind Forest. So, how'd I do? I did not do fantastic. I mean, I was on hard mode. And I got like half of the, well, like 2/3 of the collectibles. I think I can comfortably say 2/3 of the collectibles. I did alright. Honestly, I would have liked to do more exploring and more finding everything. Like, I generally like to try and go for 100% completion in these kinds of games, but given that Silk Song is coming out this next week, and I am going to get it, 100% gonna get it, and play it on here. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to finish this game in time and not, like, rush it, but I do wish that I could have gone and done more of the completion criteria. But that's okay. I think that we got the bulk of the experience. We got to see the story, and we got to finish the game. So, stoked about that, honestly. And I do think that we'll give Will of the Wisps more of a chance to shine than Blind Forest here. I would have liked to have done more than 3 parts of Blind Forest. But I'm really happy I could stream this, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. Bucket says, it's crazy how most of the animations aren't even 3D. Most of them are 2D sprites, I think. That is nuts. And this game is absolutely gorgeous. They did such a good job with it. I tried to complete DK as I went. It didn't work. 1 hour Q&A? You want to go to 3 o'clock, huh? I don't know, do you guys have any burning questions for me before we go? If Silk Song released in September 12th, you would have time to do some of the post-game stuff. Yeah, darn it, Silk Song, why couldn't you have delayed 1 week? here we are, like, waiting on bated breath in every Nintendo Direct for the last 4 years, thinking, where's Silksong? And now we're there, and it's like, why couldn't you have waited one more week? I would have wanted a 100% complete Blind Forest. Ori and the Blind Forest. No, it's cool. Like I said, I'm glad we were able to finish the game in time. And it didn't feel too rushed. DK Bonanza final boss was epic. I did the thing you're not supposed to do, and I saw it on, like, my Google feed, my Google News feed, and I'm like, oh, well, they just spoiled the ending of DK Bonanza for me. Oh well. It was bound to happen at some point. If Silksong... Oh, I'm sorry, I read that already. We need the next 3D Mario. Don't spoil! I will not spoil. I'm just telling you I got spoiled. Finally, the Silksong fans finally got their baby. Heck yeah, Blues Cat. Super excited. Still waiting on Yoshi's Sock Puppet World. Ugh. If that's the next thing that comes out, I'm not getting a Switch 2. I can't commit to that. Favorite cheese? It's my go-to ending question. Oh, I feel like I always struggle to come up with my favorite cheese. Yeah. Because they're just so, you know, varied and different ones have different use cases. Like mozzarella is obviously the go-to for pizza or for chicken parm. I use cheddar in my omelets. What else do I use cheddar on? I use American cheese for like grilled cheese sandwiches. That's kind of the go-to. I do use cheddar for my mac and cheese too. There you go. Some Gouda. I really like fromage de Jacques from just like a snacking cheese perspective. Parmesan's really great. Ooh, Romano cheese and Parmesan for carbonara, or just Pecorino Romano for cacio e pepe. Man, there's so many good cheeses, man. Are you asking what cheese I like the best from like just a general perspective? Like if I had only one cheese to use for everything, what would it be? Or is it more of like a, you know, specific thing? Like what's a specific use case? I could definitely come up with a blue cheese. Blue cheese. I could definitely come up with a specific cheese there. I mean, I obviously know who it is, but not how. Maybe I'm wrong. Quick round of guess game. Go to 10 questions. Parmesan is the only cheese that I like to eat by itself. I really like fromage de Jacques. Hey Jeff, what's your go-to ingredients if you make pizza at home? You know, over time I've gotten to be more of like a plain pizza kind of guy. Like, give me either cheese or just pepperoni, because like I want to have that experience of like, you know, I want to be able to judge the sauce, the crust, the cheese, the amount of cheese that's used. That's the more pure pizza experience for me, and I've gotten to be more of a connoisseur of pizza in recent years. But I'll also do a supreme pizza just because I like the supreme toppings. Buffalo chicken is one of my favorites. Gotta be Gouda, says Solar Flare. Hint, it's not Link's crossbow training. Wait, what? Yes, what would it be? What do you mean, yes, to what? Like, which scenario? Like, general cheese or like a specific cheese, or a specific application? I hate blue and goat cheese, says Jacob. I surprisingly like goat cheese, at least Romano. Really big fan of Romano. Like, if I'm making carbonara, I'll either do half Romano and half Parmesan, or I'll just go full Romano. Gives it a very strong flavor. The cheese question, you can only have one cheese. I feel like if I had to have only one cheese, Parmesan would probably be my go-to. It makes for a very good snacking cheese because it's kind of like, it's got a good flavor, but it's also kind of on the milder side. It's a good topping for like, you know, pastas and Like, I can make carbonara with Parmesan. I can make chicken parm with, well, Parmesan. There you go, Parmesan's in the name. Parmesan cheese is a good salad topper. It wouldn't make for great grilled cheese sandwiches or omelets, and I would be sad about the omelets, but I could live without the grilled cheese. Yeah, I think if I had to choose just one, it would have to be the one that would be the best for the most use cases, and I feel like that's either cheddar or Parmesan. And for the foods I like to eat, I think Parmesan would be the safer bet, so I'll go Parmesan. As much as I want to say Romano, because I love how salty and strong tasting it is, I don't think it would be the best bet for some of the things where subtlety is more necessary. So there you go. How's that for an answer? Granted, I haven't had every kind of cheese. In the famous words of Jim Gaffigan, talking about the first person to want goat cheese, hey, this cow cheese is pretty good, but you see that dog that looks like it smokes meth? Oh, that's so funny. I'm gonna have to look that up later. That's so funny. Oh, I don't know if I should think that that's that funny or not. Hi and bye, Dr. Jeffrey, you missed it! You missed me beating Ori in the Blind Forest, but that's okay. I appreciate you coming in to say hello and goodbye. Hey, Dr. Jeffrey, I'm gonna be streaming Hollow Knight Silksong next week. So there you go, more of an FYI than anything. Jeff, I'm thinking of a game. One guess, no questions. I'll give 2 hints. It's not Brain Out, and it might be on a handheld, so I get 1 guess. As far as a game you're thinking of? Well, I mean, you were just talking about DK Bonanza. I feel like that's a red herring, so... Are you thinking about... Wario World? Wait, no, you said it's on a handheld. I take it back. Might be on a handheld. Wario Land 4. Hey, Jeff, what's your opinions on DLC? DLC in general? I don't like DLC very much. I'll get into it a little bit more in depth here after I said I might! Well, that was my guess. I won't be there probably because I want to play it myself, but enjoy it. I will, Dr. Jeffrey. I will. Jeff, do your best Chuck E. Cheese impression. No, it's M&M's Beach Party. I never said it was developed by Nintendo. Dang it, that was my second choice. Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid. That's pretty much the best I got for you. DLC in general, I'm not a huge fan of. Just because, like, for me, it kind of discourages me from being an early adopter for a game, just because when they add DLC to the game, by the time they've put the DLC in, if I've already played the game when it first came out, generally I've moved on to the next game, or like, you know, I have to come back to the game and get myself re-immersed in it, relearn how to play the game, especially if it's a game that has like upgraded movesets and all that, like a Metroidvania or something. My go-to examples for why I don't like DLC are twofold. There's Horizon Forbidden Dawn, and that's more just out of spite than anything that I don't like it. It's because I bought the game for essentially full price when it first released on PlayStation 4. I got it for 48 bucks. Back then there was like an Amazon thing where if you pre-ordered it on Amazon, you get 20% off. So I got it for 48 bucks. And then like I played the game, beat it in like a couple months. I wasn't playing it super like, you know, super consistently, but I beat it by like summertime of that year. And then the DLC came out later. I don't remember exactly how much later, but eventually a definitive edition came out that a definitive edition came out that included the DLC, and that version ended up going on sale for $20. Or going to a reduced price, a reduced permanent price for $20. And I'm like, I paid more than double that for the base game without DLC. And now I'm just like, I'm never playing the DLC, I guess. Because, like, I'm not paying money to upgrade to that version. I've since thought about going back and, like, getting the PlayStation 5, like, upgraded version that includes the DLC for, like, it's a $10 upgrade. So I might do that if I ever want to go back and play that game again. It's such a big game, though. I don't know if I want to do that. And then the other example is Blue Fire. Blue Fire is this other indie game. It makes me think of a 3D Hollow Knight almost. It's not as good as Hollow Knight, but it gives me Hollow Knight vibes. You know what? I'm gonna switch to the big camera mode. If we're gonna be talking like this for a little while, I think it'd be more fun to do a big camera mode. But anyway, Blue Fire, I beat the game, I bought it fairly early on, and then like 6 months later or so, like I'd long since beaten the game, I 100%ed it, I was done with it, and then DLC comes out for it, and I'm just like, oh, I haven't played this game in long enough that I would prefer to like play the game again, to like get myself re-immersed in the game and figure out where the DLC fits in with everything, and like where they added stuff. How am I like am I gonna be able to figure out like where the DLC is? Should I care about that part? I don't know, but I was not enticed to come back to the game. I feel like that's like the main goal with DLC, is to entice you to come back to the game. What if the DLC is free? Asked Dr. Jeffrey. Yeah, still, same problem. I'd have to come back, get re-ensconced in the game, sometimes relearn the game if it's a complicated game like Horizon Zero Dawn, or Blue Fire was even somewhat complicated in that, like, I would have to figure out the moveset again. I just, not a big fan of DLC. Oftentimes, if I have a good feeling that the game is going to get DLC, I'll wait until a definitive edition comes out. Like this, for example, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. Oh, I guess I should point to it over there. Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. It has the DLC included on the cartridge, which, that's the best case scenario. I did that for Ghost of Tsushima. I got the Definitive Edition with the DLC on the disc. And I'm glad I did that, but I still haven't gone through. And played the DLC for that game. At least I still have the option. I don't know. DLC, I'm not a fan. There are certain use cases where I think it's good, like Mario Kart. That was great. That was a great use of the DLC, and honestly, it was good value. I wasn't gonna get it until they brought on the Yoshi's Island track, and I had to at that point. I just had to. Okay, anyway, I should probably see if I can catch up on some comments here. Jeff, I'll let you try again. It might be a Link Between Worlds, but it's not on the Virtual Boy. Is it a Link Between Worlds? They always make cosmetics DLC instead of unlockables. Ugh. That's the kind of DLC that sucks. Like, when you say DLC, I think about the DLC in a single-player game, because that's pretty much all I play, for the most part. I think about the DLC in a single-player game that adds content to the game for you to play, like new bosses, new challenge levels, new that sort of stuff. I don't think about, like, cosmetic unlockables as DLC. Never have, never will. It's a microtransaction. Different category. What price do you think Silksong will be? I feel like it'll be $20 to $25. I think that's reasonable, considering Hollow Knight was $15, and that came out like 9 years ago. Let's see. I don't know if Steam has it on their I don't know if Steam has it on their thing yet. I'm gonna check. Yeah, no, Hollow Knight Silksong doesn't have a price yet. Kind of wild that we're within 5 days of the game coming out, and we still don't know how much it's gonna cost. No, Jeff, I said might. It's Mario Hoops 3 on 3. Dang it. Some games will never get Definitive Edition. Yeah, and that stinks. I love it when they do get Definitive Editions. One more try. It might be Chibi Robo game that's heavily criticized, but it could be on a home console. Is it Big Rigs Racing? Thank God cosmetics in Nintendo games are in the base game. Yeah, right? What do you think that buying digital games recently in most cases, you only buy a license to play the game and not own it? Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. I gotta punctuate it. Jeff, it's Chibi Robo Ziplash. The hint was right there. Man, the red herring. What do you think that buying games digitally? Recently, in most cases, you can only buy a license to play the game and not own it. Yeah, digital is still... Hang on. Digital games are still something that I don't like. I pretty much refuse to partake in strictly digital games. I mean, this right now is a bad example. Because I'm not playing this on my Switch cartridge. I bought the game digitally on my Switch, and then I bought the physical cartridge later. But whenever physical game is an option, then I'm generally gonna go with that. I just don't like the idea of relying on a server that will go down eventually to re-download the game if mine becomes corrupt, or like my console like storage gets corrupted, or I accidentally delete the game for whatever reason, or one of my kids does. I just don't like the idea of the impermanence of the digital games. It just makes it feel like, well, obviously you don't own anything. Like, I can reach over on my shelf right now and grab Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, and just, I have this. As long as the Switch cartridge is good and my kids don't lose it, I have this game. And, like, it looks nice sitting on my shelf. That's kind of a vain thing. But it does. I like that aspect of it. And, yeah, you can't do that with a digital game. And, like, I don't have something to hold or to look at on my shelf. Like, I do this a lot on here when people bring up the physical versus digital games thing, but, like, I have a pretty solid library of Switch games at this point. And honestly, I just like looking at this. Like, I like looking over at the shelf, looking at all my Switch games. And it's like, you can't do that with digital. Like, the closest you can do is, like, turn on your console and look at your library. But even then, it's like, oh, I don't know. And the other thing, too, is, like, on the Switch at least, and the Switch 2, if you have the game physically, it doesn't take up precious storage space on your console. I have that struggle on my PlayStation 5. Like, the games are physical that I own, but, you know, you have to install them on the system's SSD. And because of that, they take up storage space. And those games are pretty big, like 50 gigs a piece. Yeah, there's a lot that I don't like about digital games. Like, physical for me is the way to go. It's one of the things that chased me off of getting a Switch 2 is the whole game key card situation. Like, it's an awkward mesh of both. It's the unhappy medium, I call it. You get the cons of both and not really any of the pros, really. Yeah, yeah. Physical all the way. And when that is no longer an option, I'll be sad. Shovel Knight might have my favorite DLC, says Dr. Jeffrey. It was pretty strong, and honestly, I do hope to get back to Shovel Knight, which is another game I have physically, by the way. Right there. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. I have not played King of Cards yet, and at least for the stream series, I've only done Shovel of Hope. But I do hope to get back to this at some point on the streams. It's not super high priority, but I'd like to. Well, some games on launch day show price, like recently I bought Sword of the Sea, and it only showed the price when it launched, which I hate because I want to know how much I need to pay. I mostly get digital because physical games don't come out on launch for indies or never. Yeah, like that's the tough thing with indies. It's rare that they'll get a physical release. When they do, it's like a rare treat. Like, I want to get Hollow Knight physically on my Switch, but I still haven't done that. I know there's a physical version of it. Yeah, if you're playing mostly indie games, you'd better be relying on mostly digital. And then, like, you could do what I do, and, like, I bought Ori and the Blind Forest on my Switch digitally a long time ago, like, when it first came out on the Switch. And then I bought the physical copy, like, later, when it became more available. Just so that I could have it. Wait, is the stream over? Yeah, pretty much, Vincent. Sorry about that. But welcome to the stream regardless. We're kind of just hanging out and chatting. So you can hang out and chat for a little bit. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that reminds me. Oh man, I was on a date. Hey, how'd the date go? I'm happy to hear that you were out doing something positive. That's nice. But that makes me wonder what I should be buying Hollow Knight Silksong on. Like, should I be getting it on my Switch? Or should I get it on Steam? And I'm really not sure. Great, went to main event. Nice. Hope that was fun. But, I'm so torn on what system or what platform I should get Hollow Knight Silksong on. Part of me was thinking about getting it on Steam and then buying the physical version later. But I recently got my own, like we have the family Switch. It's sitting over on the entertainment center. But what I've been playing on lately is, I bought my own Switch OLED. That's just like, it's mine. My kids don't play it. It sits over here on my desk forever and always. Like, it's mine. What's the frame rate on Switch, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I mean, it was 60 for Hollow Knight, like the original Hollow Knight. Let me check. I doubt that that's been brought up, but let me check. Hollow Knight Silksong frame rate on Switch 1. Okay, so AI overview, take this with a grain of salt, but the AI overview says Hollow Knight Silksong has demonstrated support for 120 frames mode on Switch 2 in TV mode, though it requires a compatible 120Hz display. The game also supports 60 frames per second in 4K resolution and HDR on the Switch 2. For the original Switch, the game is expected to run at a steady 60 frames per second. So that's what they're saying. That's what the AI overview said. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Man, can't wait to play Dono's Tale when it comes out. I love bouncing on enemies with the shield with the lightning speed. Ooh, that's cool. I really liked Dono's Tale, the demo. I gotta get the updated demo sometime and play that. Do you think the Switch 2 edition games of Switch 1 games is a fancy way of calling DLC? No, not really. I think it's more like the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 version upgrades that Sony's been doing for the PS5. It's pretty much that. It's not really DLC. It's just the upgrade to the new version. Though for like Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby and the Forgotten Land, they did include extra content. With Mario Party Jamboree, it was trash, and then Kirby and the Forgotten Land looks like it was great. But yeah, it's not that the upgrades are DLC. They're upgrades, but sometimes they might include additional content. So yeah, that's what that is. Kirby forgot the land again. Man, I loved that game. That was so much fun. Well, anyway, guys, I am really tired. I got a funeral to go to in the morning, so I'd probably best get some sleep. I see you, Brain Pick. But yeah, I'd probably best get some sleep. I got things to do tomorrow. But yeah, I'm glad that we got to hang out and just chat for a little while. That was fun. And again, I really enjoyed playing Ori and the Blind Forest on here. Fantastic game. Really happy that we could hop in and play it. And good night, and I'm sorry for the loss. Oh, it's not in my family. It's my friend's family, and I want to be there for them. So yeah, appreciate it, but it's not for me. But yeah, a lot of fun with the Ori and the Blind Forest here. Thanks for joining me for this awesome little adventure, and I hope that you guys all enjoyed it as much as I did. After Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition, Kirby forgot the land ended. He forgot about the land 4 nanoseconds later. See you, Jeff, and everyone. Sorry for your friend's family members' loss. Yeah, thank you, guys. I'll be sure to give them our condolences. Remember, Jeff, September 22nd, 2029. Alright, keep track of it for me, Solar Flare. But guys, thanks for joining me for this series. It's been a lot of fun. If you haven't already, feel free to like and subscribe. And hit that bell icon if you haven't already, so you'll be notified whenever I go live or post a video. Feel free to join the Discord if that sounds fun to you. You can chat with me. It's the best place to chat with me. I love chatting with the fans. And, yeah, there's a lot of fun things to do there. It's where I notify you about the live streams or video uploads, and, I'll be letting you guys know, any updates to the stream schedule there. You can chat with me about video games. You can recommend games for me to play, though I've got a pretty solid list in mind for the next few weeks/months. You can recommend music for the intro and outro of the stream. Always love to do that. And, yeah. You can even share pictures of your food and stuff. Lots of fun stuff to do in the Discord. Guys, the next live stream is going to be next Friday, starting around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, give or take a half hour or so. We're going to be starting Hollow Knight Silk Song. And if you asked me that 3 weeks ago, if we'd be saying that, I would have said no. But here we are, it's reality, it's happening next week. Hollow Knight Silk Song, get ready for it. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. So, yeah, thanks again for tuning in, guys. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. See you guys.